All right. This is the weekly Alaboom, the longest running weekly live stream about next to nothing
Nothing.
in the world or on YouTube. And maybe you think there's a thing out there that's like not YouTube that they have longer live streams on? I
Oh,
don't.
maybe
Maybe a
Vimo, maybe
Twitch thing.
Twitch. Yeah, maybe. Nah, YouTube's been around longer than Twitch, hasn't it?
I think so. At
Yeah,
least I'm of the opinion that it is. But
yeah, I don't know. Unless there's
well,
something over in Europe or
lest we get sued, I'll just say on YouTube. No.
what's this wee stuff? I don't know nothing.
Mm, mm. I'll
You're
take you
on,
down.
yeah. The Ella what?
No.
The Ella who?
Who am I? Hmm. The History of the World Part One bit where the guy
Haven't
gets
seen
knocked
that in a
down.
while.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
but there's the deaf and mute guy, and he like gets knocked down by the chariot, and he pops back up, and he says, "I can hear, I can see,
oh, that's right.
but who am I?"
Yeah. The Martian. What's his name? It's the
Yeah,
Martian.
I can't think of his name right now.
Uh, oh,
Anyway,
see, this is his name.
you doing anything for the fourth?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Jen. I don't think so. Probably cooking something here. Maybe going to a neighbor's if anything.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I actually forgot. She took the week off. Usually she was working, so not really playing for much.
Well, somebody has to work. Lord knows it isn't you.
Yeah, it's her turn. I did the first 10 years.
Yeah.
It's her turn.
Um.
Just talking to my brother. He's he's doing some stucco with my brother-in-law till he gets back to work. And
No,
he's
is he
like,
younger or older than you?
he's old. He's about your age. He's was I just turned 46, so he'll be 53. Yeah, he'll be 53 in October. Um, but he's like, you've done stucco before. It's like a lot of times. Yeah. He's like, how do your arms deal with it? I was like, you just get used to that the first week or two, Rich. Your arms will come back to life after a while. Relax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I was like, you're going to use muscles you haven't used in decades. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Mm. Yeah, he was down
Well,
here the other day with his guitar. I bought him a guitar about a year ago, maybe a little less.
yeah.
Uh, but it's going along pretty good. Yeah. Further than I thought, even from what he's saying over the phone, I thought he was doing worse than he actually is. He's doing better than he thinks he is, though. Still trying to rush it a little bit. Getting patient with it.
Yeah.
Well, impatient with himself.
Well, as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So,
Nah, I don't think most people realize how long it takes to play an instrument, to learn how to play one. Even basic shit on any instrument. But he's getting
um,
there. Doing Taylor Swift song.
yeah.
He's asking me about it. I had never heard. I've heard it, but I don't know what it is. Like, she's just not really in my radar, my scope. But I said I'll look at it next week. We'll get together, see what happens. Once I play for his daughter.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess I learned how to play piano, and then I didn't know it. I didn't. It was annoying. Um.
Eh,
Uh. And then I I learned I then I played trombone. I played a bass horribly before I gave it up. I think like learning like if you learn if you take some piano lessons at like a younger age, just being able to read music is helpful.
Yeah,
It
yeah, it
it
is.
gives you a big giant uh station. But then I've like there's I mean, and admittedly you're gonna find these people, but I mean like I've met people that can play piano or uh play their guitars and stuff who like exceedingly well, like ridiculously well, and they can't read sheet music. They just can't. They just learned how
Yeah,
to they learned
the
how to
tabs
play
or something.
piano. Yeah, just by
Yeah,
no, not even tabs, just
or by ear.
by
Yeah,
ear. You know, like oh that sounds good, or that sounds like what I heard on the radio, or this sounds
yeah.
like that. And they don't, you know, it isn't anything like that. So I mean, which to
That's
me
how a lot
is
of
that's
people learned in
crazy.
the day. You know, it's back in the day. That's how a lot of people learned because they didn't have music, you know, like accessible to them like we do now. Yeah,
I mean, to me, that just seems like I said, it just seems crazy to me. That like you learn how to learn how to play an instrument like that. It's like, hey,
I
Dave.
can see it after you get used. You have to play for a while. You can start hearing it. You know, like me, my brother was trying to play a Poison song, Every Rose, and I was like, you're close, but the rhythm's all somewhere. So we
No,
listened to it. You know, you after a while you could tell. Yeah, but they are very well trained. You know, just to pick it up like that. Yes, people are different. Yeah,
you yeah, you learn, right?
you learn. Yeah, it gives me. I'm in a routine now that I could get back outside again. Yeah, I go outside every night, play for a couple hours, and come back in
Hmm.
to freeze in the house with her in the air conditioning. Yeah,
Um, like I think we're gonna go to the fairgrounds to watch fireworks tomorrow night. And I'll
yeah.
maybe get out to the fairgrounds a little earlier too, so we can just enjoy like the fair food and what have you. So
Yeah, we
um,
might go. The University of Delaware shoots them off. We'll probably go out to the field and watch them.
yeah,
Like I said, it's the first time in a while that we've had one. You know, where she was off or I was off or both of us are off.
yeah. Have you ever been to a fireworks display that just went on too long? Like you're just like, okay, why
Yeah,
are you?
yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
I have too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right? I mean, it's just kind of
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
it's like oh, you know, it's like the first ones shoot off and explode or whatever, and then it's just like, but I mean, it's one of those where it's like I mean, I can remember absolutely being at some at like the lakes and stuff like that where a half hour's gone by, and admittedly, it's impressive, right? That they're just literally exploding thousands of dollars over your head, which is you can appreciate that, but uh, uh it's one of those things where it's like okay, I mean, okay, that one was green, cool, that's at a certain point you're like you've seen everything. Um,
We used to go
Kabuki.
down.
Sorry.
Good.
Well, no, Kabuki Kid said, "Are my dogs good with fireworks?" Yeah. I mean, they don't seem to bother them at all. People are
Uh,
starting to shoot off fireworks already, and every once in a while, like the youngest husky, like he'll hear a pop, and he'll just kind of poke his head up, and he'll look around, and he'll just go back to whatever. This morning, I got up and I let him outside, and and then uh I thought I heard something weird outside, and it was like I didn't really know, but I didn't really pay much attention. I was just kind of like, okay, that was. And it sounded like I don't know, like there was a dog, kind of like a woof and a bark and everything like that. And I didn't really, yeah, I didn't think much of it, right? I mean, but then, as the dogs normally do, they run outside, they do their business, then they come back in almost immediately to like have like a small breakfast. We'll give them a little small breakfast just to kind of tide them over until we feed them at night. And but I noticed the young husky didn't come in. Yeah, and I looked over and he was just sitting underneath the tree, and I was like, well, that's weird. But I was like, but whatever. So, and then I went out to, there's several bird feeders that I have in my backyard. So I went out and put bird seed in all those. And I noticed, and I came out in the backyard and he's just sitting underneath this tree. And we have this apple tree in the backyard. And he's just sitting in the shade. And normally, like if I walk outside, he'll run over to me like, "Hey, what's going on?" It's like this isn't normal. You're out here, and then so I'm like, so I filled, a couple of the bird feeders, and I was filling a third, and I looked over and I could see he was chewing on something, and I was just like, "Oh, he caught a bird." And
Uh,
I walked over and he knew he wasn't. And I was like, "Come here." And he wouldn't take a toy. He wouldn't do anything. He was like, that was his breakfast. And I was just like, I tried so desperately but he's, way faster than I am. And I was the only person who was awake. So nobody could corner him. And while I was trying to like chase him down to like just take it from him and throw it away, because I just didn't want him to eat it. Who knows what, stupid infestation that thing probably has in its stomach or whatever. I could see the little wings sticking out of his mouth, and I was chasing after him, and then while I was running away, he just swallowed it. It's just like, well,
he is an animal.
yeah, well, yeah, and I mean, I mean, I felt bad for the bird, but it isn't.
Circle of life.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like we have a deck, right? And it's like, and the door opens up, and it's like it's a big heavy door, and it makes a loud noise, and it opens up, and then when the dogs run outside, I mean, they always woof as soon as they walk outside because they're excited. So I mean, they made all their noises that they always do. So I mean, I was just kind of like, well, and he had a little tiny scratch over one of his eyes, like so he must have
Went
must have
down fighting.
he must have caught a beak or something. Uh, in the but oh well. So
Screw them birds. They're not real.
birds aren't real, So I'm kind of worried that he swallowed that. He probably
So
swallowed
we
like a
lead poisoning now or something.
he swallowed a tracker or something, right?
uh,
I mean, I'm pretty sure. So I'll have to keep an eye on him. Make sure that the government doesn't come looking or something.
I
Uh,
was watching. There's a house across the street that they're remodeling. They basically had to gut it, but one of the guys has a dog that he brings with him every day. And sat there in the morning, and this rabbit took off, and the dog chased that rabbit for about a block and a half. The guy jumped in his truck after the dog, the fucking rabbit was gone. The dog gave him a good fight though.
Pride, right?
He tried. The guy's pissed. He's like a block and a half, right down the corner, around the corner, down. He's afraid he's going to get it, or about 2 blocks from me is a major highway, Route 4. He's afraid he's going to get into there, which I don't believe him.
Um,
They should almost be done with that. The power went out a couple times last week, and one night I was driving around when it was off. I noticed a lot of dumpsters in the neighborhood, which kind of concerns me. Yeah, means people are remodeling, either they're flipping it or they're remodeling it to stay
yeah,
there. But most likely they're going to be flipping it. I think prices are so high. Yeah,
they're too damn high, as they
yeah.
say. Um, I have a grievance, but I'm gonna wait and see if anybody else shows up before I share. But I have a it's not a doozy or anything like that, but I definitely do have a grievance that I want to share with the class. Um, my I have my storage unit where I keep my where I keep my like a lot of stuff from the house, but mostly it's like most of my board games, which I will that I'm getting, very what's it look like slowly but surely getting rid of them. The storage unit, it's just got an automatic withdrawal, like
Yeah.
charges my credit card on a regular basis. And they sent out an email. This isn't the grievance, but they sent out this email that said, "Oh, it's just like we can't run payments right now because of some issue with their vendor or whatever. Who knows, right? It's just a thing. It's
Yeah.
just something going on." And they were like, "So just hang tough, and we'll get it figured out, and we'll notify you once we know what's going on, and this, that, and the other thing. And if you get locked out of uh your storage for some reason, just just make sure that they uh it's one of those things where they were like, just we'll make sure that it's fine and you'll be okay, and this, that, and the other thing, right? So it was whatever kind of thing. But it was one of those things. Then the next day, I got an email that said, "Oh, we haven't got your money, so we're gonna shut down your thing. You won't be able to have access to it because you have to. There's a key and everything. Obviously,
Yeah.
a key, but
Yeah.
to get in the area, right? Then we won't let you get in there." I was like, "Well, that's bullshit. You didn't you just say that like everything was gonna be fine?" And so I was kind of annoyed by that. And so
One
I was
payment,
like,
they're gonna kick you out. That's kind of
yeah, well, no, I mean
weird.
it was weird, right? And so then, but then so I was like, okay, well, there's a number that says, well, if you have any questions or concerns about this, please just call us. And so I called, and it goes like straight to voicemail. And then they were like, oh, you can text us if you have problems. And so I like texted them, and like no response. I was like, look, am I really blocked out and all these things? And I can only imagine, like, because it's a company that has probably 1,000 lockers in the area. And if
Yeah.
all of those aren't being able to run, and they had said that in some cases, like people's cards have been charged like up to 5 or 6 times and things like that. So I can only imagine there's a lot of people that are like, you motherless.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I felt bad. And then I texted them and they got back to me though. They were like, we're sorry, we're working on it. We're very sorry about it. Just hang tough, just we will run all the charges, and you're not in any danger. You won't get any late fees. You won't get any of those things. It was, so they were cool about it. But I remember I was just like, you do feel bad, because it's like, but also it's kind of like, well, it's your fault. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
you employ a vendor that, does those things, so I mean, if it's effed up, I mean it's your job, you're the ones that it's screwed up. So I mean, fix it, or deal with it, I mean, anyway, that's just my opinion about that.
Just yours.
um I look forward to, hopefully I'll get everything out of there this summer and I can just stop having a storage unit.
I
That's my
never had.
goal. Um, but anyway, um, as we wait for other people to show up, if anybody has any questions for either me or Barry, we're monitoring the chat as always.
We are.
I do. Um, I went to my local game store is moving. As I said, they were in their one location for like the last 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
And they're moving to a much bigger location that actually has a parking lot. I mean, it's stunning that this place has stayed in business for as long as it has, when like they only have street parking. And then this is a
Yeah.
place that they regularly have events where, you know 150 people show up to do a Magic the Gathering tournament. I mean, so it's just like, it isn't one of those things where it's um it it was always just stunning to me that they managed to keep it open as long as they have with it. But to try to knock down the cost of like, you know uh moving, and the time and everything to move to the new location, they are they starting today, they're starting like kind of a Dutch auction thing where it's like, like it was like 35% off all board games and graphic novels, 50% off on all back issues of comics, things like that, where they're just they're working their way through
liquidating.
that. Yeah. So it's stuff they don't have to move over. So I was like, and they had let me know that like a graphic novel that I asked them to get a hold of. Hold on one second. Ah,
But I would have looked at Lance's ass.
yeah, you're welcome. So like yeah, so they had actually texted me like a day or two ago that graphic novel that I actually asked them to get in oh, I can't talk in stock or whatever. Finally came in stock, and so that was this guy, which is actually like kind of
Okay.
cosmic horror HP Lovecraft
Yeah.
Providence, which is yeah, I've heard good things, but it was tough to get a hold of. But eventually, like, got a hold of it, obviously. But
It's the Bachelor showing up.
what?
The Bachelor pad. Scott.
What?
Oh yeah. Hey Andy, hey Scott.
Yeah.
So, but also
Andy.
because everything was like everything, all the board games are 35% off. I kind of searched and you never find GMT games for sale good. So I got Plum Horror.
Plumber.
Yeah, because I played it
Oh,
once.
really? It
and
was on sale? Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't use GMG too much.
So
a good
no,
game.
I played it once and I really liked it, and then but I always like it's like always $99 if you want to buy it at the like and it's never you never can really find it for sale. But so I
Yeah.
got it. I got it for a song comparatively. So I'll read those rules and me and my
Where'd
son
you get it from?
my local game store because they're like they're moving to their new location, so they're trying to cut down on all the stuff they have so they can not have to move a bunch of stuff. So everything was 35% off today, and it's going to get even better as time goes by. And I was like, I'll just get it, give my buddy his money, and whatever.
Give that man his money.
Yeah.
Give
Thanks,
that.
honey.
I can't do that. I can't do the
Give
accent.
that man his money.
Give
No,
that-
that's also wrong. That's
Nip-
also Nick, pay him his money.
He beat
So it
me
says-
fair and square.
He beat me.
Very square.
He beat me straight up. He didn't say fair and square. He said he beat me straight up.
For the amount of times I watched that movie, I don't remember the line.
I will splash the pot if I want to.
In my club, I will
Oh,
splash the
what did I
pot
watch the other day?
any fucking time I want.
Daniel Negreanu won a bracelet. It's up 7 or 8 years, 6 years or 7 years since he won his last one.
Yep.
Do you watch his blog at all? Probably not, right?
I
Yep.
have.
Pretty good. They played a lot of the hands.
The thing that drives me crazy about him is like because he's always chat when he plays, and he's always like saying, "What do you got, aces? You got aces there? What do you got, ace queen? What do you got, ace queen?" Like, and so everybody always cuts.
Right? That's his thing, right?
Well, that's his thing, and so like it's one of those things where it's like if you're if you make 100 guesses on something and one of them's right,
Eventually, you'll get it.
and so whenever you see clips of him online, it's always like him guessing what the other person has as far as the
Right.
full cards are. Can I see the hand where he goes, "You got pocket jacks," or the guy's got like 10-8 suited? Can I see that clip? Because there is a clip like that, but that's not the one they show.
Yeah. Anyway, it was fun to watch him win. I haven't seen him win he hasn't won in a long time.
Well, I'm sure he's making money.
Well, he wins, but he doesn't win he didn't win the bracelet.
Well, I understand that, but all those guys, I've talked to a few people that are like professional gamblers, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and it's like you don't make money at tournaments. He said you make money at all of the home games, and that are like
Right.
tons of money being handed back and forth. Like that's where you make all your money. Where nobody knows you're there and you're in some guys, you're in a basement of some company that that nobody knows what's going on, and
Right.
that's where they make all their money. So, I mean, he's a good player,
Huh.
but it's just
Got a
like
little lucky too.
well, you have to. Yeah, it's still gambling. If it was as my buddy Matt once said, he said, uh, he said, well, it's like there's only one card in the deck that can beat me, and you drew that one. And he was like, well, if it was a sure thing, they wouldn't call it gambling. Just like you gotta take your chances. Well, now, hey, I got all you guys here, so I can share my grievance.
You need an
Lucky
audience.
you.
Yeah, now this is not. It was just a frustrating thing. It was frustrating. It was a frustration thing. So, the last time I went in to where they were like, you got to come in, we got to take some blood, turn your head cough, not a full physical, but just basically to make sure all my medications are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And my doctor was like, well, your TSH reflex is high, which is basically the stuff that your uh,
Thyroid.
thyroid takes care of. Thank you. He's like, it's a little high, which means that like the medication we have you on, it's not enough of a dose. But he said, before I go crazy, he's like, I want you to he said, take your normal dose, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you take it by 8 o'clock in the morning. You take it with like a glass of water and nothing else. And then I need you to not eat anything until at least noon. So I mean, it's just like I want your body to
Shift fast.
Yeah, basically, I want your body to absorb it, and that's
Yep.
it. And I want it to get in your bloodstream, and then you're going to come back here, and then we're going to test it again in 2 months, and then so I did that, and then partially my fault because I totally forgot I was supposed to go in at the beginning of July. They said first or second, come in and just walk up to the lab. They're waiting for you. They'll take your blood, and then we'll figure out what's going on. So July 1st came, I forgot about it. July 2nd, I got a message saying my pharmacy tried to get my medication again. And my doctor basically said, no, you can't have your medication until you come in and give your blood. And I was like, okay, well, and when I don't take my thyroid medication, I always just feel real logy and just completely out of it and tired. And, it just sucks. So, and it might be psychosomatic, I didn't take it. So obviously I must feel bad right now. So, but it doesn't matter. So I was like, all right. I was like, I will go in. And as soon as I got that message, because I have an app for my hospital, and the app was like, you need to come in and do your lab work. And I was like, all right, fine. So I went in and went in. Was it yesterday or was it today? I'm just so out of it. I can't even comprehend. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So I went in, and as soon as I got the message, went in, and I had them draw the blood, and then they yanked my blood out, and then I left, and then within less than an hour, my lab results came back. They're like, your lab, you have a new test result you can look at, and I was like, well, that doesn't mean anything to me, and then my TSH was still a little high, and so now this was literally, it was 20 minutes after my doctor had messaged me saying, Lance, I can't do the prescription. You got to come in and do your blood work. Please come in, and then I'll take care of it. So I went in, and then I sent a message. I was like, I just did my blood work. Please tell me what's going on, and then, give me my prescription. So I have it. And then 20 minutes later, a nurse texted me. It's like, oh, well, your doctor is actually left. He's gone now for the vacation.
Oops.
I was just like, why? I was like, literally, you said, you gotta come in and do this. I can take care of this for you. I dropped what I was doing. I drove there. I took care of it. And then you told me, and then all of a sudden now you're gone and you can't do it. And I was just like, look, I'm down to one pill. I need somebody to take care of it. And I don't know what they did. But I remember just being like, I wasn't like super mad about it, but I was also just like, you contact me, you tell me to do this or else you can't do this. So I do this and you still can't do what you told me. But apparently they must have got a hold of him or something because he sent me a message. He said, I went ahead and I sent over your prescription to your pharmacist. You should have it. You should have a refill tomorrow. So I
Okay.
was like, so I got it today.
So half grievance.
It was kind of a half grievance, but at the
Partial
time I
grievance.
was just like, well, it's like when you
Well-
when you set up the instructions, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and then I'll follow through. And okay, I did X, Y, and Z. Well, I can't help you. That it was a little bit infuriating.
Should have went yesterday.
Anyway,
I have a grievance.
Go ahead,
Let's hear
Scott.
it.
So replacing water heaters in the house.
Okay.
They're big, huge ones. They're massive.
That's it.
How
Way
many do you
over
need?
way what?
How many water heaters do you need?
There's two.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. One for the upstairs, one for the downstairs. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, I don't
Probably,
mean
yeah.
I don't mean to judge, but I mean, it's like it's just the two of you to live in the house. You don't have a commune.
Exactly. It's
There's
well
something-
over. It's well overheated.
Okay.
Believe me. I don't know why, but I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't know. There was before I moved in here, two water heaters. I guess a backup maybe. Although one of them just barely ever worked. I don't even know what the problem was, but it would constantly like hibernate. You know what I mean? You know what hibernate? Like it would
Yeah.
hibernate. And so when Lincoln and Nikki were in town, they would get like one hot shower and then no, all cold. I'm like, I'm just apologizing over profusely about it. And we would go turn it up and it would not work. It would work for like a day and then it would not work. So it's like wonky. Anyway, 10 something years now. So we were like, we're just going to replace them. Anyway, so I have a handyman, right, to do this stuff. And he sort of organizes it and coordinates it and like does all the sort of legwork for it. So yesterday was the day. They're like, they're coming at 8 a.m. You got to be up by 8 a.m. Okay. Like, okay. They know I'm not an early riser, so I'm annoyed at that.
Yeah.
The handyman knows this. But I make exceptions for special things like that. So I get up at 7:30, ready to go. 8 o'clock comes, nobody here. 8:30, nobody comes. 9 o'clock, nobody shows up. 9:30, nobody shows up. 10 o'clock, the handyman arrives, and I'm like, so I'm guessing that 8 a.m. was bullshit. And he goes, well, I don't know. He was blaming the company. And I'm like, okay, well, I was here at 8, I was up at 8 a.m. So, I'm sort of mad. And anyway, so things start progressing. And it's a big job, right? Like these things have to go out and then the new ones come in. And they were tankless, right? So it's like a big change.
Okay.
Yeah, these two like massive, gigantic, I don't know how many gallons, but they're huge, like taller than me. Crazy. Oh, way not necessary for this house. Anyway, first one comes down the stairs. Keith was here, by the way. He was visiting for the weekend.
You're
And
real friends.
Yeah, real friend.
he
Yeah.
wanted to. We've been organizing for this for a bit. Anyway, so I see we're sitting in the living room just chatting because he was about to take off, leaving, and his eyes like go like that, and I had my back to the front door, and they're going out the front door, and the water heater is on that like a little, like a really flimsy push cart thing, like a truck, those
The
hand
dolly,
trucks,
yeah.
dolly, and the fucking tire's flat, and I'm like,
Oh.
great, is that just fucked up my whole stairs? Right. And so I run over there and I'm like, hey, you got a flat tire? And he's like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the big problem is I can't refill it. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, okay. And I just let them do their thing. But I called my handyman who had left to do something else for some reason, even though he was supposed to be there all day.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, do you have an extra dolly because this one they have here is flat, and I don't want them going down the stairs with the second water heater in case it's causing damage. And there's really no way to no, because they put down this paper like
Yep.
like kind of thick, right? I mean, it's a
Yeah.
good, not an eighth of an inch, maybe
Yeah, the brown stuff.
brown, not
Yeah.
not like wrapping paper, but kind of like hardcore.
Yeah.
And but I saw the tire marks all the way down. And I'm like, shit, did it? And if it goes through the paper, it's going into the floor. So I'm kind of mad. I'm like, they didn't think about this for a minute. And then I'm like, I called them. I'm like, hey, can you come over here and like get a truck, get them, I don't want them doing it on their own. Or without you watching this. And he's like, oh, I'm dealing with something. And I'm like, and honestly, I never raised my voice with him, but I raised my voice. I said, well, this is the job you're paid for, like something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and he goes, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Because he detected my angst, my anger. Because I was kind of mad. He was supposed to be there supervising now. That's what he's paid for.
Okay.
So and I could spend time with Keith and we could chat instead of me having to deal with the problem. Anyway, he gets there. They somehow, in the minute where they went out with the first one and came back to do the second one, they fixed the tire, even though they said they couldn't. I said, and they're coming down a second. I go, did you get the tire fixed? And he's like, yeah, we got it fixed. I go, okay, fine. Like, so the rest of the day goes by and he comes down, he goes, man, if there's something wrong, you can just tell me directly. And I'm like, wait, so when I told the handyman, because I was talking to him, I wanted him to deal with the problem. He called their boss, who called them and blamed me that there was a problem. So I'm basically now also getting the cold shoulder. Like they were treating me differently after lunch or whatever. And I'm like, oh, so now because I made a phone call to my handyman who basically called, I was just like, so he blamed me. I'm just like double mad. And I was so mad with him. I was just like, man, I don't want to talk to you anymore today. Anyway, it all finally worked out, but I'm just like, oh, so now I become the bad guy, which I'm not really the bad guy. I was just concerned that the dolly was going to mess up the stairs. Anyway, whatever.
No, and it probably did.
And Keith goes, you're way too calm. Like he goes, my head would be exploding right now. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm calm, but like I also paid a guy to run the show and he was gone while it was happening. So it was kind of like, anyway, here's my grievances. So 8 a.m. didn't show up. Oh, by the way, they had to do more work. My handyman came over today and he's like, oh, they need like a couple more hours to finish it up or do like some touch-up stuff. I'm like, okay, well, if they came at 8 o'clock, they wouldn't have to work today. And they called him apparently asking if they could come over at 8 o'clock. And thank God he said no, because I'm just like, fuck that. Anyway, I said, no, they're not coming over at 8 a.m. anymore. They've already blown that chance with me. Anyway, whatever. That's it. Done. Water heater.
I want to know.
Oh, I've got more grievances, but I'm gonna stop.
Well, I can actually I have another
from people
thing that that's been driving. Like, I hate this time of year. I mean, like, I do look forward a little bit to Gen Con. I like going to it. I mean, for like a day, then I want to leave. But that first day, man, it's like a honeymoon. You're like, oh, this is nice.
For what?
Like the honeymoon, first day at Gen Con, like the first day of like,
right.
But then after that,
then
I'm
you
like,
get grumpy Lance for the rest of it.
and then I'm like, what?
I didn't know there was not a grumpy Lynch.
But I am so annoyed that
Stunning.
no matter what I've said, or when they take the time to say, oh, how can we improve it? And I've told Gen Con what's wrong with their website and how they do things. It is, and to be fair, and I realize, Scott, you own Tabletop Events or whatever, and that is, but I mean, there are things about that site that also drive me bonkers when I'm trying to use it as well. And I understand it's not the easiest.
It drives me bonkers too. I didn't create it though, so I can't fix it as easily. I got a guy to fix it. But
But-
anyway, tell me if you ever have a problem, let me know.
Well, but here's the deal with Gen Con. Do you think there would be like an easy way to just go to a screen that would just tell me like how many badges I've purchased and for who I've purchased those for? Like just a listing.
An
Like
account.
there's just
An-
nothing. There's just nothing at Gen Con that has that. Like it'll tell me, oh, you have this many
Oh, like-
badges and
I
you've
thought it-
used up this many.
I
But
thought it had that. No,
but no, you can't. But
as a GM,
but you,
as an exhibitor, I thought that was
no, you can't. You can go into your transactions and you can backwards, like
right.
figure out.
There's
Okay,
no
yeah, we
summary.
could. Yeah, like oh, I purchased an exhibitor badge for this person. I purchased an exhibitor badge for this person. So
yeah,
you can.
yeah, you know, right. I know what you're talking about.
You can see that. You
Yeah.
can absolutely see that. But can you like can I just get an idea of like can I just get a listing? Just give me a listing. Can I get a listing? Maybe perhaps of like what stuff like I can expect to have at my booth. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, no, you got to go to Fern and you got to like see all this. You know, it's like if you want to like, and that, I mean, and the thing is that we don't actually bring like chairs and we bring our own chairs and tables or anything like that. So we don't pay the usury fees that are
Yes.
basically like, oh, you want a folding chair? That'll be $97.
$92, please.
Yeah, because
And
we
it's
had
like
to,
it's like the crappiest piece of crap chair.
we had to carry it 40 feet. I mean, so that's another 20. You know, just like it is such a fucking joke. Hmm. And then-
Yeah, their
I mean-
website. Now that you mention it, I do remember that you can't see who you bought badges for because you have to go through your transaction history to see it.
It's just
Yeah,
stupid.
I remember that.
Why wouldn't you make it easy
I'm not going
for
to
us?
say it too loudly, but I don't know if Tabletop Events does that either.
It's that you actually have a listing.
It probably
You
should.
can
Oh,
have a you can
It
find
has
a
your,
listing.
thing.
Again, however, finding it is another thing on the old tabletop events. I mean, like, you know, go click here, click to here.
Yeah.
There's never a thing that says,
So I've got my main designer halftime on Tabletop Events now to give it like a facelift and sort of a, because 10 years old now.
the other thing about it is that
that
it
old?
is
Wow.
I feel
it
like
is
it's close to, it's not that old, but it's pretty old. And it was not designed with mobile friendly in mind. Anyway,
Yeah.
but the other thing about it is that Gen Con is it's extremely stressful getting set up for. I mean, like it's like one of those things where it's like I have so much other
believe me,
stuff.
because it's basically, and if you F up,
Yeah, it's
time
fucked.
keeps on ticking. It's like you can't, it's a giant window here at the August or July, whatever, 31st or whatever.
No, like I have to assign. So I got an email because we have 8 rooms that we have.
Oh, that's another nightmare too.
Well, so we have 8 rooms, and so we actually probably have one too many. So I mean, and I know somebody who wants one, so that's no problem. We can transfer the room.
Where are
to
they?
them. I mean, they're close. They're either
downtown?
a block away or
I mean, because we got only like 2 rooms downtown and 6 off site, which sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah.
No, anyway, so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, fine. But like I got an email 2 days ago that said all of these rooms are assigned to you. You can't do that. You have to disperse these rooms. So I've had to like I've been working on dispersing the rooms to people. Like I have to disperse one to Anthony so he can, when he shows up, he can just Anthony.
Anthony.
Anthony's gonna be working the booth. He's gonna be working the boot.
Just when you thought you were out,
You know what's
you back in.
You know what's crazy?
The boots.
You know what's absolutely crazy is that and the decision hasn't, the final decision has not been made yet, but we are very likely going to increase to a 10 by 20 for BGG Con Fall.
Oh my
And so
God.
so we can sell Larian products, and you might have to finally send that car.
Oh, look out, Scott.
You
Wow.
might have to send the car finally for Anthony.
Look out, Scott.
Why would Scott have to send the car if you're bringing them?
I'm just saying.
You'll have to send the car.
There's a fair to middling chance that Mr. Akana will finally make a BGG con.
You've never been?
Never. No, because my old job, the time of year was never good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that I
know.
didn't want to go, it's just I
Yeah.
couldn't go.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt?
Hey guys.
Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
Lance, I had a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you sell out of your games at Origins?
We had a handful left. Mostly
So would you say it was a successful show?
well, I mean, we paid for our time there, I guess is that. I mean, and
Just wondering. I'm just curious, like, because I
we
couldn't
got
remember
we
if you
got
were stuck with a lot of extra stuff at the end because it was so.
no. And we
What?
got one. I know we got one really good pitch for a game. We never go looking for pitches there, but we got one really good pitch for a game that's we're gonna look at. So who knows if that was worth our time?
7 years out.
Probably
Yeah.
not. Probably not though, right? You know, it was great because people would come up and say, "Hey, are you taking pictures right now?" And I would just say the same thing every single time. I said, we don't do light, we don't do party. We do medium to heavy Euros with heavy theme, so it can't be an abstract, and it needs to have Ameritrash thrown in some way, dice, random events, things like that. And usually they're like still nodding, and you need to be cool with the fact that it's probably not going to see the light of day for 4 years.
Oh, it's 4 years. I thought it was 2.
No,
Wasn't it? No.
it's at least
Oh.
4 at this point.
I would keep on walking.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, no, and especially I saw a thread actually on the old intranets, and I'm not going to say who or whatever. If you police around in the Facebook world and you know people, you're going to know who I'm talking about. But somebody complaining about the fact that after like a publisher had a design, and it wasn't us, it was just, and the publisher was never named, but like a designer that has a pedigree. I mean, like not like a no name, like somebody who has multiple games published, saying that, oh, I got contacted and they gave me back my design and they said, you know, we're sorry, you know, we don't have the time or the ability to publish this, and you know, it's yours now. Keep your advance. You know, everything's good. You know, and we'll move on. And they were complaining about the fact that like, oh well, thank you for, you know, wasting 3 to 5 years of my life with, you know, the fact that like you were going to publish this game or whatever. And I get it, but I'm like, but the other side of that is there isn't a single publisher in the world that signs a game with the intention of never publishing it. I mean, like, you know, they just, you know, they wanted to publish that game. They can't financially do it. So what would you rather
So you're
they
saying
do?
Kickstarter doesn't matter? If
What
you
do you
can't
mean?
financially do, I mean, I guess the money you need to like just at least get it off the ground with a Kickstarter.
Well, yeah, or the fact
Because
that
you
like
certainly don't need to have all the money in your hand when you decide to publish.
no, but
No.
if anything has taught me after now, you know, 10 years of using crowdfunding to publish games, like, and it's changed ultimately, is that you have to do at least 3 months of pre-marketing, getting people excited about the game, letting people know that the game's coming out, letting people, collecting emails, collecting people to back things, collecting everything you possibly can. And if you really want to do well, you make it at least 9 months. 9 months of pre-marketing, showing stuff off, getting people excited about it, getting like, you know, just this like a slow trickle of information to get people interested in what you're doing. And then and that costs money, right? I mean, that's like that's thousands of dollars right there just to just do that. And and there's all these people I know that like, oh, we're gonna launch this game, and they're like, and you want to say, oh, did you let anybody know it exists? And then you know, it's just kind of like, you know, just people throwing a game up on crowdfunding and hoping for the best. Can't do that anymore. So, and people try to do that, and it's just, and they're wondering, well, why didn't I make $100,000? Why didn't I make $250,000? You know, it's because you didn't organically grow the people that you have. And the thing that sucks, and I'll say right now, is like you get like, you know, 4,000 people to, you know, click on the notify me when you go launch or whatever. and then you convert 1,000 of those if you're lucky, and you won't. I mean, like 20% is usually the best you can hope for on those people that sign up. But then, like that first day, you bang it, right? You know, it's like you get 900 people that come in and each give you $100, and so you're sitting at 90K, and then maybe you hit 100 that first day, and you're like, that's amazing, this is awesome. But then it is a trickle that dies almost immediately. It just, because it's like you got the people that wanted your game, and you can't ever be excited about that. Like, then it is a slow but sure people of just discovering it, through the fact that you're releasing information, that you're doing Facebook ads, that you're advertising on BGG, you're doing things that like get people to know that you exist. But so you like it's like it's a weird false uh uh it's a fool's gold kind of thing, right? It's just like, oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
100K in a day.
1,000. Well, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and
I was talking about something else.
Yeah, but no, I mean, oh, that's true. 1,000 people are signed up to be notified when I launched.
Right. And then money, when they put their money in the mouth where their mouth is,
it doesn't.
happen.
So I mean, I don't know, man.
What did I do where that happened recently?
I mean, the thing is that I mean, I don't know. I mean, so Shane and Josh and I are like always talking about different things we can do to like just basically make money, and to be a successful company. And we've always got different things going on, and we definitely have things like the fact that we're gonna do a dice set. We're gonna do a dice campaign under Next Level Miniatures. I'm working on that. I've got all these cool sample dice that I got from the factory that I'm looking at.
It's amazing, that dice. I mean, we actually sell dice now. I didn't think we ever would. We are.
Everybody does, Scott.
Look at that cool guy.
I don't understand, but everybody wants them.
The interesting thing I heard.
I mean, we got Game Genic dice, and we got this these metal dice from, I forget where Beth found them.
The interesting thing I heard from the guy, I think I told you this, the guy that runs Crystal Cast. Like I got to talk to him for a while at Origins. And he was super nice guy. And one of the things I ended up talking to him about, he said that all of the he said the reason why everything is like a hard resin with sharp points right now, like that's like the thing. They're like, oh, it's like jewel level or whatever, is he said it's basically because the best dice that are made, he said, and this is again a guy that's the dice he sells, but he said the best dice that are made are still made either in America or in Europe, because they're the only ones that have the ability to polish the dice to get them to have those rounded edges, and to make sure that the dice just look nice, they have a sheen to them that looks super good. And to make a die that has these sharp edges and everything like that is actually way cheaper than like to build something like this, is way cheaper than the classic rounded dice that you get from a Chessex or Crystal Cast. I mean, admittedly, this is a guy who sells dice for a living, so he's got his money, he's got his wallet on the line. So I mean, you can believe what you will, but he was a super nice guy. I look forward to talking to him again at Gen Con. Does anybody right now have anything at Gen Con they've seen that's being released that they're excited about?
I don't even know what's being released.
I'm not going to Gen Con.
What?
You're not,
Wah.
Neither am I.
What happened?
I'm just taking a year off of consumer cons. I'm curious to see if it really matters if I go or not.
Oh,
You mean like if it affects your business?
Whereas, I mean, like, I think the two I'll probably go to every year, Gamma and Gathering, but Q lands to say, well, hoity-toity.
No, good for you, man. I mean, if you think you can, I mean, if it
No, because I mentioned Gathering.
Well, I mean, you were supposed to don your your 3-cornered hat or whatever with the feather in it to show off how cool you were. But
No, I just like I spent a lot of money. I went to I went to 4 shows last year, and it was my travel expenses were a lot because I'm not volunteering in a booth or working in a booth.
wait a minute. Wait a minute, a second. Hold on.
Can't you just write that off?
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are
Oh,
you
I
saying?
can, but I still spend the money.
Let me take a note here. More travel equals more
Shut-
costs. Okay,
That's just crazy.
I'm gonna take a note here.
No, I just the amount of money that I spent on travel and
Matt, you just need to convince Scott to make you be a special guest, and
oh no,
he'll
that
take care of
has
the travel
nothing to do
for
with
you.
anything. See, what my point is I think for stuff like for other, if I'm gonna go back to Gen Con, it's gonna be for like personal reasons and leisure because I want to go, not because I feel like I have to go.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Right.
Like I'm really like I have two small cons. I'm going to Syracuse to Mike's Con and in September, and then I'm going to go to this Montreal one that I'm helping out with in November. But that might be it for this year. And
I'm a big believer in the small con. You have way
No
more
BGG.
fun.
BGG's off the list.
I don't know.
BGG sucks.
No, BGG is never off the list, Scott.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I
no,
understand.
I don't know. It's just it's so
Kiss
much.
his ring, Matt.
What's that?
Kiss his ring.
yeah, wait for the
Yeah.
car.
Oh,
So I got a funny, speaking of Gen Con, I got an interesting email the other day. So we had the social last year.
yeah. I was gonna.
And
Did anything come from the social?
did anything come from it?
Well, yeah. Wasn't it sort of like a business mixer kind of thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of deals will happen, a lot of introductions. So I didn't really, I was like hustling, so I wasn't really hustling to get the event
Right. You
pulled
were
off
running the
well.
event.
So I did chat with a few people, and I think there are a couple of things did come from it, but um, I got an email after it happened last year from somebody saying that like quite a long email. Actually, one of the feedback forms that was filled out, that they filled it out saying that they really didn't have a very good time. And all of the things that they said why they didn't have a good time were very valid. It was they stuck our speed dating right by the DJ that came on at 9 o'clock, and it was deafening.
Oh,
Yeah.
The place in general was just super loud, and a bunch of other stuff. So, anyways, and then I after I read their reply, I on the feedback form, I kind of invited them to continue the discussion privately with me in email, and they did, and they kind of elaborated on a bunch of stuff. And I got the point. I got the feeling that, thanks, but no thanks. This isn't really an event for me. I was surprised to get an email from them the other day saying, "Are you throwing that event again?"
yeah, that was weird.
So, I mean, that just says to me that, really it was a good time for a lot of people, for most people. And contrary to what some people say, they still had a good time. So that's good. I'd like to do it again,
Yeah.
but
You
it
have
was
to
a
go,
lot of
don't you?
work. Throwing an event is a lot of work, eh, Scott?
Scott would know. He has
Yeah.
peons for that now.
So, well, it's taken 20 years, but I remember the days of running the event.
I'm messing with you,
Well,
Scott.
I mean, I'm not.
All the stuff. Oh yeah, no, I mean it's a ton of work. I'm actually always
I sat on a board for an event for CHIO, which is our children's hospital here, that we did a volleyball and ultimate frisbee tournament every year for 20 years. I sat on that board,
Yeah.
and we had like thousands of people coming to it, and so I wasn't really, but I was like, man, I was this thing wiped me out last year. It was really fun. It was great, but when it was done, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Cards on the table, it took a little bit away from my Gen Con experience.
Yeah.
So,
Consume most of your time at
But-
sure.
I think the thing that would have me do it again is the good that it did for other people. You know, it's for the children,
For
but
the children.
the little people. I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding.
Let them have cake.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I had a guy reach out. Sorry, like totally sort of. It was kind of a grievance. Guy
Just gotta
reached
go back
out.
to it.
No, just this was like guy reaches out and says, "Hey, my pledge is going to end up getting returned to a sender with the current address. Is there any way to assist with updating the address?" Well, he sent me an email
The partial
today.
typo.
No, he sent me an email today for a campaign that fulfilled last year.
No.
So you know, as luck as have it, you know, I have access to all of our tracking and stuff, and I have like the FedEx tracking number, and it shows the picture of the box because FedEx takes a
At
picture
the
of it
door.
at the door.
Yeah.
And I just was like, yeah. Well, I was like, you know, hey, I see this order was sent out last year, and here's the and then he's like, then his response to me was, well, I mean, that's a big screw up on your part because I haven't lived at that place for years. And I was like, we collected your address last year from you.
That's fucking hilarious.
I was just like, yeah, that's you know, you guys sent it to an address. I haven't lived in it for years. What are you gonna do for me? And I'm like, nothing, because you gave me that address in May of last year. So if you haven't lived there for years, why did you give me that address?
Why are there so many con artists in our hobby?
What? And I mean, and I'm just like, oh. You know, you just kind of, I don't know, man. I mean, I usually try to like say something along the lines of, you know, it's like, if look, you know, I'll give you a break, or once, you know, we can try to like send this stuff out to you, but you got to pay the shipping.
But you were
or
obviously trying to fleece me.
or like it was your mistake, you screwed up, and you're looking for a way to try to like make
Yeah.
it my fault. So then like I'll send you something on the cheap. I'm also just kind of like, I don't know. I just, I have trouble like doing that for people, right? But the thing is that if you don't do something for somebody like that, they're the ones who go on like Reddit or something, and like,
they're the squeakiest wheel you've ever
and
heard.
they start a thread
Yeah.
where another 1,000 people all join in and say, "Oh yeah, they're the fucking worst," you know, just like you're just like it you know, and they know it. I mean, if they're really truly nefarious, they know that if you're smart, it will cost you less money to just send them a free fucking game.
It's a nuisance claim, right?
Yeah, then it would be to deal with having to do like, you know, some sort of, you know, damage control over
Oh, I have a grievance.
whatever. Oh, go.
Oh,
I
you
love
do,
it. I
Matthew?
love it. Keep it up. Let's do this.
I spent 3 hours today working with a new designer. I spent 3 hours today redoing their work.
Because it was bad. It was not
Is this someone in your employ?
This is somebody I'm trying for the first time.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I am realizing more and more that
Said I was sorry, Matt. You don't gotta.
He said, "Don't add it again, turd."
Anthony, we can take this offline.
Well, you're the one bringing it out in the public there,
I didn't mention any names.
sir.
I'm realizing more and more that the skill set I'm looking for a particular type of skill set with
Those
what we
particular type
do.
of skills.
And I think, you know, I have to be more on top of assessing
Right.
their work before I engage them, and asking for particular specific relevant portfolio samples to talk about it, because it's just, I don't want to go through this again, and it's just frustrating.
They're fluffing their resume, Matt. Is that what you're saying?
No, they're not at all. It's just
Oh.
this is on me. This is completely on me. I didn't
Okay.
vet them
Right.
well enough,
Okay.
but it was still frustrating that I had to put 3 hours of work into something today that I didn't think
Right.
that
Didn't account
I
for.
didn't really have time to do.
Right.
But so check the. You guys know Christian Gilbert. He's here in Ottawa. Anyways,
I don't think I know.
he sent me this thing the other night. See, tell me if you can find anything weird about this.
Lorem ipsum novis. That's awesome.
It's got lorem ipsum text. Yeah, that's great. Fabrique and Chinese. Is that China?
Fabrique
Yeah.
en Chine. Yeah,
Oh, is that
It's China.
Okay. Oh, it's French.
yeah, it's correct.
Made in China.
He sent me that. He's like, do you notice anything here? I'm like, oh my god, that is hilarious.
That is pretty good.
Now I'm looking at it. Was it Photoshop? No, it was real. Okay. Yeah.
I got Grey Vision. My scholars are expecting some games from Grey Fox, and they haven't showed up yet.
Yeah.
Nudge needs a place to put his ass in, Lance. He took over my clothes hamper. Scared the shit out of me the other day.
Oh yeah, yeah, that is scary stuff, man. No, I agree. I agree. What was I gonna say? God dang it.
I don't know.
Oh, I have another grievance today. So we played. I just finished my D&D game tonight, and they were fighting a dragon, a bone dragon, like a death dragon.
No.
And one of the guys got polymorphed into a giant ape.
It happens.
Yeah, which is good because they're like super tough, right? And this guy was trying to grapple the dragon because they're both huge. So he did, but the dragon's like, nope, not happening. So it flew in the air with this ape attached to it. And the guy was like, okay, I want to attack it, to pummel it. I'm like, okay, sure. You're going to have to roll a dexterity check to make sure you hang on after you do this because you're in the air. And you've lost your footing, so you're going to have to roll to attack with disadvantage because you're not on terra firma anymore. And he's like, well, the dragon didn't have to roll with disadvantage. I'm like, because it lives in the air. It has wings. Like, and he's arguing with me, and it was just a little, listen, like, I've made my ruling. Can we move on?
So there was a guy and that sucks. I mean that when you have somebody who wants to question your decision and stuff like that, I always hate it, right? But I remember, I don't know what it was. It was forever ago, and there was this guy, and his name was Ben Kohler, and
You like name dropping. Wow.
no, well, I doubt he's listening. But I mean, he's long since moved away. But he was playing D&D with us, and he was running a campaign, and I don't know what it was. I had a problem with a ruling that he said, well, no, it's going to happen like this. And I was like, well, that's bullshit because, why is it the blah, 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 blah. We kind of went back and forth a little bit. And I was like, Ben, I was like, that doesn't work. It's like this is kind of I probably used the word capricious or something, like it just seemed like it's a garbage decision. And then he took out the Dungeon Master's Guide and he held it up and he said, why don't you go ahead and take this book and go into the other room and sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons exactly however you want to and see how much fun you have. Or, he said, you can let me just decide what's going to happen here and we can move on. And ever since then, I've used that many times. It's like, it's like, see how much fun you have without a DM, and go and have all the adventures you want without a referee telling you how it's going to be. And I mean, he's kind of a dink, but I've always just kind of said, yeah, that makes sense. It's just like it's one of those things where it's
I'm not sure I could ever say that. No, I think that would cross a line, to be honest. It would change the relationship, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've just basically said it was like I made my ruling. I've said I've made my ruling. We can argue if you want to. We can argue over text after you get home, but we're gonna move forward at this point.
Yeah. Well, he was the first to back down. He's like, okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you had a good group. I mean,
it was good.
I at
Can't
this
take you
point,
guys anywhere.
well, yeah. I mean, it's just
I still remember at the beginning of this fucking adventure, I was it this adventure or maybe a little while ago. I hadn't DM'd in at least a decade and a half. And so I was a bit rusty, shaking the cobwebs off, and trying to give a narrative, try to illustrate with narrative the situation. I ended up saying some stuff that was just not really appropriate for the, I just like, it didn't really need to be said, and it just kind of touched into an area where I'm like, and as soon as I said it, it's like, that was not cool. Like, it would be something that some people would have touched an X card for. And I now use that as a teaching moment for myself. I just think back on that. It was one of those things you're like, yep, I'm not going to do that again.
A teachable moment.
That's good.
Exactly. And it was really like, it's very vivid in my memory because, and it was like a couple of years ago, but it pisses me off that it happened.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of times with those stuff, it's just like, you just kind of have to, I don't know. I mean,
It's a game.
right now, the biggest thing that I say, people can say it's just a game, and yeah, I mean, compared to, life and whatever, it's definitely minor, but, and so one of the things, the biggest problems I have is that, it's like, um, if when you're a kid, it's like you're doing something fun every day, right? And when you're 16, you're screwing around and being a weirdo all day long. When you're an adult, it's, for me, like, my time to play a game, whether it's a board game or a D&D or whatever. It's like, it's super important to me. It's like, because the rest of my life is about maintaining a family, maintaining a house, working my job, taking care of my mother, just like, there's a whole bunch of things that I have to do that are like a grind. But it's part of, it's your life, right? And the ability to, and to find time for you and your friends to sit down and have a thing there that you're gonna do, whether it's a game or
Yeah,
whatever, is important. And when you have people that like actively work against the grain to make it less fun, that just drives me absolutely crazy. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just, so, and the thing that, like, scheduling, like right now, like we're having a lot of difficulty getting our D&D nights scheduled right now. It's
As adults, that's surprising.
well, no, but the thing is that we used to have it set in stone. It was like every 2 weeks. We just they're like, there's one guy who isn't married, but everybody else is married and has children and whatever. And we kind of just all say, it's like it's our job to tell our partners, it's like, this is important to me. This is my 5 hours every 2 weeks that I count on to, like, just be able to, like, turn my brain off and enjoy my friend's time. And what I hate is, it's just like, when other people are just like, oh yeah, something came up. What came? And just like, and it's always like something that just, doesn't seem, I mean, we're adults. You just say, okay, fine, I understand. But it's just like, it's like, really, you just found out your wife was going to be out of town going to a concert with her friends, and it's just like, it's like, and and what do I know? I mean, my wife is very understanding about, like, my time, and I say, I'm going to go do this, and she's like, that's fine, go ahead. I mean, like, and I can't speak to anybody else's relationship or anything. That just drives me crazy. And what really drives me crazy is that, like, when the person that is actually, like, in charge of the referee, the game master, the dungeon master, when they're the flake, and when they're like, it's like, when we can't pin you down to a time, and of you showing up and being available on a regular basis, it, like, we can't play without you. If
You're the
just-
linchpin, dude.
yeah, if it's somebody else who's just playing the druid, who shows up only half the time, who cares? He's a druid, just like, we'll move on without you and your pet wolf, okay? Yeah, and I mean, which is their case right now. Our like the druid in our party is like 2 levels lower than all the rest of us because he just doesn't make it. And when he shows up, he's more of a liability. We're just always protecting him. Just heal us. You're fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? And it really drives me crazy. Because it's and that's fine. If somebody doesn't have the same, if it isn't as important to them as it is to me, then it's like ah.
I
What do
remember
you
when before Merchants of the Dark Road came out, we were playing it on tabletop arena. No, what's the Tabletopia? And me and my couple of my local friends, and then there was this one other guy that they're like, oh, this other guy we played with a couple times wants to play. Is that okay? And this was during the pandemic, so we're all like at home on obviously because we're playing on online, and I'd never met this dude before, and he all throughout the game he was like, no, you know what you need to do, you need to do this, and he kept like not suggesting is way too mild of a word for what he was doing. He was like just
Yeah.
bullying you, trying to bully you into what you should be doing with your turn, to the point where I said, you know what, you need to stop. I don't usually speak up to stuff like that, but it was really twisting my shorts. It was just
Twisted my shorts.
I like that. Really twisting my shorts.
but
I
anyway.
don't appreciate you. Yeah, whatever. I mean,
Has anybody played any fun games lately?
yeah, I played a game of Space with my buddies for the.
I like that game a lot.
I haven't played it in a year or two, and like
I played it.
and then the funniest thing happened for me was I was sitting there and I was we were playing it, and there was my friend Tim, my friend Brian, and my friend Kevin, and Kevin and Brian actually live kind of farther out of town, so they were just in town. And I said, "Oh, come on, play a game," and we were we were sitting there, and we were playing Space, and I was just grousing the entire game because like nobody was rolling my stuff. So I wasn't building up, and I was like bitterly complaining about the fact, and like, and everybody else, we were playing with that Pluto expansion where you get those extra dice.
Try Pluto?
Those extra dice that you get to roll on
Yeah.
on everybody else's turn, and you get stuff. But every single time it was my turn, there was nothing that allowed me to get a card that gave me scouts. So I never got any of those pink dice with all the special abilities, and I was sitting there and I was just bitterly complaining. And then and Kevin,
You?
my friend Kevin said, he said, ah, yes. He's like, the Lance, the grouchy Lance method of playing games. Complain bitterly about every turn as you slowly grind inexorably to your win. And then I like towards the end of the game, I got that one card that was like when you roll a 12, it gives it a charge, and then and 3 charges and you win. It's just like it says you win. And then I had that, and then I had another thing that if I rolled that, it gave me a charge, and then I had another thing that activated a card next to it. So I was like, so I luckily rolled a 12 the first time I like had it. I rolled a 12, and oh hey, a charge, and then on my next turn I rolled like an 8, which like I got to roll 4 dice because I had charged it up. I rolled an 8 and a 9, which gave me an 8, gave me a charge, and 9 activated the 8 again. And I was just like, I just won. And Kevin threw his dice against the wall. It's just like...
So did you complain the whole time too?
Yeah, I complained.
Oh yeah. That's the worst. Super
That's
unpleasant.
what Lance does.
You are unpleasant to play with.
I would like the record to show that I gave Aldi one of his most
memorable moments,
most fun gaming moments of all time, as the entire table ganged up on me during a Lovecraft letter game.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Just everybody picking on me.
I was there for it. It was great.
Yeah,
it was so fun. That was the
Until-
best.
Especially when your wife joined in.
Yeah, no. Until it
Yeah.
got literally it got to the point where, like, whatever it was, you have to score 5 points to win, and everybody had 4, and I had 0. And so it
That
was
was
like,
so
and then,
entertaining.
and so the first.
I mean, it was so funny. I could not stop laughing.
And so I wouldn't even look at my card. I didn't even look at my card.
Just
So
to
I-
look
so-
at
so-
your face. This
So nobody, I didn't even look at my card, so nobody could read me. Nobody could say that. I'm not even looking at it. And it was just like, and then yeah, my wife and I think oh, who's his face?
Michael, Keith.
Michael's
It was
there.
Michael
Was
was
Keith
there,
there?
but I forget.
I
no,
wasn't playing. I was just watching. You guys started already.
I think my wife was teamed up with Alaboom or I can't think of his name.
Yeah, Larry, not
Larry Lemke.
Larry
Lemke,
Lemke.
yeah. And they literally got to their turn and they were like, okay, well, let's pick him. I was like,
Keep
why?
on Lance.
There's no reason.
Target Lance.
And they were like, and you're the scholar. And I was like, God, of fucking course
Of course
I am.
you are. I don't even think you had looked at your card.
No, I hadn't. I just purposely did not look. And I was like, oh.
So I tried to find a
course
copy
I
of
am.
that game, and it's out of print. And I'm not going to pay $80 or whatever that the going rate is.
I think I have one tucked away somewhere.
I think I have one too, but I wanted one easily accessible.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Evan, are
Right.
you coming to Gen Con?
I am coming to Gen Con.
He's a liar.
I thought I
Dirty,
was a
filthy liar.
dirty,
Liar.
filthy liar. It was a very last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, very last minute.
I
Scott,
think
is your crew going to Gen Con?
What?
Is your crew going to Gen Con?
My crew? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I know you're not.
Hot Games Room. Hot
Oh,
Games
that's
Room.
right. I
We're
forgot about that.
yeah.
selling stuff at Cynthia's booth.
Cynthia's booth. What's Cynthia's booth?
A meeple source. Meeple source.
I got it. You
Huh?
can't call it Meeples anymore.
Is
dude.
that her
Oh,
company's name? I can't remember now.
You're gonna
I
have to
know
call
it's-
it Wooden People.
Wooden people?
Is it Meeple Source? Yeah, it's Meeple Source.
Maple Source.
Not anymore.
I don't want to get sued. Quit saying the word.
Who
Well, if
tried
it's
to
US
claim
if
that?
it's
Too
US
bad they don't have
company,
a
I think
trademark
it's
in America.
Yeah, who tried to claim
Um,
it those?
Corey,
Lance, I
Was
think
it House and Gluck?
So I got a game I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sea of Legends. Do you guys know this game?
No.
I didn't know about it either, and I guess I backed it.
I've heard of it, but I've never.
I don't
It's
think
a
I've even heard of
pirating
it.
game, and it's a choose your own adventure game. That's pretty good. It's funny. We had a laugh, and there's some interesting simulation in it. Like you play with other factions, like they're like NPC factions that, when it's your turn, you get to control them, and super intriguing. But unfortunately, in a 4-player game, did not work out well. It didn't ever do what the NPCs never got to do what they were trying to do, which I guess is a good thing. I don't know. I feel like a game where it doesn't do with what it's designed to do to mess you up. If it never achieves that, then it's a bit of a problem. Like it doesn't scale
Yeah,
right
yeah.
before. Like
Yeah.
if
Oh,
every
okay.
fourth, yeah, it was weird. It was like maybe we messed something up, but we were like, how we didn't actually think how the NPCs could theoretically attain any of their goals, unless by total random thing or someone just not dealing with an NPC on their turn. But basically, if you fought the factions, so there's 3 factions. Factions. There's the Spanish Armada, the undead, and the children of Taylok or something like that. It's like a lizard race. And it's pretty neat. It's actually pretty cool. So the undead horde wants to basically form a horde and summon a giant undead character that was just going to stomp everything. The lizard race wanted to summon their god and of course stomp everything. And the Spanish Armada wanted to liberate ports that had been taken over. So if you take over a port, they will try everything they can do to liberate it, right? Which is kind of cool. It's a kind of interesting thing. Like there's an AI flow chart for every, and there's a ton of factions. Like the Kickstarter had like, I mean, I think it's got like 12 or 14 factions from all the boxes, and a bunch of pirates, which are cool. And I wanted to give it another try again, but I don't know if I want to play with 4 player. I want to play with like maybe 3, because the turns were kind of long. It takes a long time.
Right.
But it did something that I hadn't seen before with the NPC factions, that they have these programming guides that you kind of have to now you have to follow them. Like they'll target, like the Spanish Armada would always target like a port that had been taken over, but if it couldn't beat it, it wouldn't target it. Right, the number was a visible number that you could see.
Okay.
So it would then go after another,
Something
and
that
you,
could.
and you
It
could,
be.
and if you were the one controlling it, you could run those their fleet into other players that would automatically win a combat against them and then do something bad against them.
Oh.
Right. So you had somewhat of a control of the NPCs, which is kind of neat. So I'm kind of like about it. I mean, I thought it was fun, but I wanted to see those factions do stuff that they never
Right.
got. They never did, because we just beat them down, because it's worth points, right? If you kill a faction, you would just get a point. So anyway, all right. There you
That's
go.
cool.
Do you guys want to do initials? I do have a patient coming in 45 minutes, and I'll be
Yeah.
gone for about 20 minutes. So we can either start it later and break it in two, or we can just do it all now.
Is your practice at home?
No, I have a table here, and I have somebody is in dire straits and needs, like, they're like leaving for town and they can't
You're
walk,
so
kind of thing.
nice.
So I'm like, yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's being paid for his time. He's not doing it,
No, but
pro bono.
that's above and beyond. That's great. Our chiropractor does the same thing.
I want people to be able to walk.
I'm good to go
Why?
with whatever.
Yeah. Come there to me.
Do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Can
didn't
I
have
say-
anything to talk
can I
about.
just say
Yeah,
one quick thing?
you make up your mind for everybody.
We've been talking
there.
for like 2 hours.
You shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth, Aldi.
I can
This
wait
is his
that.
show. Damn it.
Just one quick thing before we do.
I'm sure you'll come up back with it.
He will. He will.
Lance, my
Maybe
most
we're up somewhere
favorite
in the middle too.
my most favorite game of space base was when I was in California with the AG folks, and we busted out 2 copies and put them together,
Oh, that sounds fun.
and we had a game of 12 people. And
That's crazy.
It was with Shy Pluto too. It was pandemonium.
I don't like the second expansion. I think it adds pointless stuff to it.
What the
It adds the 13
Yeah.
and like it adds the thing extra. No, that was just a money grab, in my opinion. But the base game by itself is good. But the Pluto, the Pluto is worth it, in my opinion. Pluto
yeah,
adds,
Chris that lives just that way a little bit did the graphic design for it.
oh yeah, Chris.
What's his last name?
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
I can't remember his last name.
I'll say again, man. Thank you so much for hooking me up with Ryan. He has been nothing but a delight to work with.
Yeah, Ryan's great.
as we've been working on this dice thing together. So
Yeah, I just
all right.
Hey, go ahead, Evan. Sorry about that.
No, Aldi, it's your show. Should we start now?
The
Motherfucker.
Aldi show, everyone.
Please do.
Okay. Tonight it is BB.
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 BV,
BB.
like
BV, like BV.
Bacterial vaginosis would not be a correct answer.
what?
B, not BV.
Bravo.
Bravo, bravo.
Okay.
Is Bravo an answer?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1.
Clue number 1.
Clue number 1.
Yeah, no. Item number 1.
Item number 1.
Item
Clue
number
number
Clue
1.
number 1.
Clue
Clue
number
number
1.
one.
Yeah, you got to get it right.
John Barry was a founding member.
That's an Anthony clue all over.
No.
It's over.
I do believe that would be the.
Related to Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein?
Like Steve.
Yeah.
Horrible person. Why don't we just say that?
Yeah.
Related to a horrible person.
Toured with Madonna in 1985. Known for 1983 hit single Kooky Puss.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Beastie Boys.
Yes, sir.
Oh yes, of course. How did I
That's
know?
right. I heard them talk about their Madonna tour, and they're like, and they were saying like that was the most brilliant move by Madonna to get them because
think
everybody
it's-
fucking hated them. They heard see Madonna, and by the time Madonna, she could not look better after following them.
Is it Kooky Puss or Cookie Puss?
I read it as Kooky Puss. It might be Cookie
Oh, it's
Puss.
Kooky Puss.
I didn't know that song, so
Yeah.
it might be Cookie Puss, but it's
I
with
remember
a
It's Cookie Puss.
C-O-O-K-Y.
Yeah, I thought it Oh, it's Kooky.
No better album than Paul's Boutique, baby.
And they were
Eggman.
formed from members of the Young Aborigines and known for hit single 1994's Sabotage.
Good one.
Okay. Item number 2.
Paul's
number
Boutique,
1,
baby.
arrived July 24th, 1964. Related to maple, birch, and ash. Wore
Wait.
24
You got to say clue number 3.
Clue number 3. Wore 24 and 25.
Anthony.
Lance.
Anthony.
Barry Bonds.
No, I just no.
We needed a timing on that
Whoa,
one.
whoa,
Yeah,
whoa!
'cause
It
I
was
thought
all
Scott
me.
was
It
first,
It was,
I was
Fine,
way
whatever.
first
It was
on that one.
Anthony. It was
No
totally
way! I even heard Aldi first.
I heard
it-
Scott. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear Scott.
I didn't hear Scott go. Did you say it?
That's fine.
Yes, he absolutely did.
Okay.
Once again.
Whatever.
All right,
What's late?
KK. All
Too
right.
late.
No,
Too
no,
late.
it is not too late. It is not Kabuki.
No, I'm all good.
We can get an asterisk on that.
No,
I didn't hear it.
Anthony is going to win
No,
by
it doesn't make
cheating,
sense.
basically.
Oh, I did not cheat.
He wouldn't cheat. He just probably didn't hear Scott.
I just
You heard all of us say things that were. You don't just dive in and you can't take advantage
I
of
was
poor
called.
Evan.
Evan
Yeah.
called.
Evan called him,
You
so that's-
know better. You
That's
know better.
that's the thing. Evan was called.
If I will
Evan
try to
called
wait
my
just
name.
a
It was
second
called.
before I say who, just in case there's a discrepancy. Okay. Item number 3. Clue number 1. Originated in 1943 in Yank, the Army Weekly.
Anthony.
Ah,
I know this one.
Beetle Bailey.
No.
Oh.
really?
Item number 2. Often seen as desirable.
Matt. Betty Boop.
Matt. No.
Ooh, I thought that was a good guess.
Clue number 3. Related to Jennifer Lopez.
Anthony.
And
Clue number 4. A song by Bruno Mars, Tyga, and Mystic. Clue number 5. Can be genetic or sometimes earned through hard work. Clue number 6. These
Final
are-
clue.
What's that?
Okay.
Is that the final clue?
No. here's the
final
final
clue.
These are round like a globe and usually complement a slender body.
Lance.
Lance.
Big butt.
No.
Aldi.
No.
Aldi.
Big booty.
No.
Matt.
You already did it. All right, Barry, you got one?
There you got one. It's a variation of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
5, 4, 3,
Like behind
2, 1. It is bubble butt.
bubble.
Oh.
Okay.
So I would like the record to show that Kabuki Kid did go back and prove that it was Aldi who was first.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
All right. That's an asterisk. Right
So
there.
it's just a score 1-1. To
No,
one.
no.
If
No,
I
we're
just
going-
got
we're
one.
moving
Scott's
on.
supposed to be doing his initials anyway.
We're moving on. I'm not.
What?
I'm not
Didn't
grasping
Scott
about
win
it.
initials last week?
Oh yeah, you lazy son of a.
Yeah,
I
where's
win?
where's yours? Yeah, remember it? And you were like,
I-
I'm not going to do it.
Did I win?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
man,
why
I
I
for-
made it then.
Totally forgot.
Well,
I bet.
My
Uh,
rockin' Shania Twain one.
okay. Item number 4, clue number 1. Related to Animal rights. Clue number 2. Sold in 1971, then repurchased in 1981 by Irvin Feld. Clue number 3. Run continuously since 1871, except 2017 through 2023. Clue number 4. Moved from portable to arenas after 1957.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Barnum and Bailey.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Barnum and Bailey? That would be B-A-B.
It's an ampersand.
No.
It's Evan's ski.
It's an ampersand.
We go through this every
Fine.
You see, when you let the monkeys run the contest, this is what happens.
It was billed as the greatest show on earth and purchased by the Ringling Brothers in 1907. Item number 5.
It's all right. Like I said, you'll do them next week.
Clue number 1. Debuted March 13th, 1951. Clue number 2. Based on the experiences of Mort Walker.
Anthony.
Lance.
Holding.
I heard Anthony. Yeah?
It's Anthony.
Okay.
It's Anthony.
That's it.
Beetle Bailey.
Yes.
I should have called it on the first one.
Known for inept characters and a track star, modeled after fraternity brothers at University of Missouri, related to Bitterbill, Diamond Jim, Freshman, and Sweat Sock. Comic strip set in a fictional U.S. Army post. Item number 6. Clue number 1. Became internationally popular in the early 20th century.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Betty Boop.
No.
Oh,
Good guess though.
you got to steal one there.
I know.
Yes.
You took a swing. You took a swing.
Yes, Swing.
Swing.
Clue number
Swing.
2.
He took a forest.
Clue number 2. Introduced by Henry Hines in 1901 to the UK.
Barry.
Barry.
Baked beans.
Baked beans.
Yeah.
Baked beans. Often very sweet, related to a candy by Salvatore Ferrara, made in 1924. Part of an English full breakfast and made famous by Bush in 1969.
I had a roommate that was like his lunch usually. He just opened up a can of baked beans and just eat them straight
Gross.
out of the can.
I've done it.
So gross.
I've done it.
You're tired when you're hiking.
Oh,
man.
man.
Oh, I mean, that can of Bush's baked beans, they're tasty. They have that one chunk of bacon they put in there that apparently,
Yeah,
I don't know what it's supposed to do
Gives
for you.
flavor to the rest of it.
I doubt it.
Number 7. Clue number 1. Originated December 16th, 1963. Clue number 2. Narrated We Shall Remain in 2009. Clue number 3. Married to Bond girl Talisa Soto in 2002. Clue number 4. Did voice work for Despicable Me 2 and Coco.
Matt. Probably wrong.
Matt?
Bill Bird.
Nope.
Nah.
Clue number 5 has received 4 American Latino Media Arts Awards.
Or
Clue number 6 played Detective Reynaldo Curtis on
Oh.
Law and Order.
Matt.
Bonus clue number 7 played alongside Sandra Bullock in
Matt.
a famous
Anthony.
movie. Anthony.
Benjamin Bratt.
Yes.
Yes.
Couldn't remember his
Oh,
friggin'
I-
name.
Yeah.
you could have asked me 1,000 more
Yeah.
questions. You could give me 1,000 more clues, and I would have been like,
I could picture the guy.
Was he in
yeah.
Law and Order?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was one of
that
the
was one of the
clues,
clues,
Scott.
Scott.
He was also in Clear and Present
so-
Danger.
When people
Close.
talk while they're being spoken, like I can't hear the clip, like it
Oh,
cuts
yeah.
out the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom.
Not a big deal, whatever.
Oh,
Uh,
you're such a martyr.
item
Such a martyr.
item number 8.
Number 8.
Clue number 1. Originated January 22nd, 1934. Clue number 2. As a child, shot his bishop with a slingshot during service. Clue number 3. Related to Rick Jones. Clue number 4. Related to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Clue number 5. Known for NBC crime drama series The Magician.
Oh,
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one.
I got them all
Too
on
hard. I don't know.
DVD.
Yeah.
Clue number 6. Played Dr. David Banner on
Oh,
Anthony.
Incredible.
Fuck.
think
heard Scott.
Whatever.
Aldi.
I don't
think
know it.
Aldi.
I heard
I don't know.
Scott.
I think Scott got me on that one.
I think I heard Aldi.
I don't know what it is.
Aldi.
Bruce Banner.
No.
Anthony. Bill
Anthony.
Bixby.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to research. I was like, wait, is it Dr. David Banner or Bruce Banner? And it depends on which thing you're watching. Bill Bixby.
The Magician. Never heard of that.
Clue. Item number 9. Clue number 1. Originated in 1911. Clue number 2. Related to Essen, Germany.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Ball bearings.
No. Good guess.
What? Oh my God.
And I believe switched
Clue.
before.
Essen made
1900
ball
Scott.
bearings for the war.
I believe it.
Well, yeah.
Clue number 3. Towed in 5 wagons for transport. Clue number 4. Weighs approximately 42.6 tons.
Barry.
Barry.
Big Ben.
Nope.
Nice guess, though.
Ooh, yeah, that is a good guess.
Clue number 5. Known for its very high caliber.
Oh,
Clue number 6. A German siege howitzer built by Krupp AG.
it's on a rail.
I mean, I don't know the name of it. I mean,
5.
It's a woman's name.
4.
Anthony.
Lance.
Anthony, you already guessed, right?
No.
No, I
No?
did.
Okay, Anthony.
Is it Big Bertha?
It is Big Bertha.
The rail gun.
Thought I
Yeah.
had that one.
There's
Yeah, ball bearings.
another military thing that would fit BB as well, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it in my back pocket.
Keep it in your back pocket.
Okay, number 10. Clue number 1.
Oh.
Originated February 24th, 1945. Clue number 2. Related to Megaforce. Clue number 3. Tony Award winner. Clue number 4. Related to Denton. Clue number 5. Related to Susan Sarandon. Clue number 6. Final clue. As Brad Majors could not do the time warp.
Oh, Anthony. Bruce
Anthony.
Boxleitner.
Not even close.
Nice.
I don't even know who that is.
I know who that is.
He was on Babylon 5.
5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Four.
Lance. Lance.
Lance.
Nah, it's not that guy. Bo Bridges.
No. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I did not
Matt.
think these were that hard. Oh, Matt. Okay. Man,
Bob Burnquist.
no. Correct answer is Barry Bostwick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
of
that
course.
guy. I knew he was in some guy from the
He
TV
was on
show.
Spin
He
City.
played Brad
Yeah,
in
he
the
was on
movie.
Spin City,
But
yeah.
Uh,
From Rocky Horror Picture Show.
He was also on an episode of Supernatural I watched.
Okay. Maybe these are too hard. Sorry, guys. Item number
no, we're just
11.
stupid.
Clue number 1.
I think you have Anthony to beat for that too hard one, so don't worry, you're so good.
Originated September 13th, 1985. Clue number 2. Related to plumbers. Clue number 3. Can go through walls. Clue number 4. Often.
Barry.
Barry.
Bombs.
No. Clue number 4. Often jumped. Clue number 5. Known for angry eyes and clenched fists.
Oh, yeah.
Clue number 6. Anthropomorphic projectile from the Super Mario. Aldi.
Bullet Bill.
Bullet
Yeah.
Bill.
I didn't know what his name was.
Took a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
geez, man. These are tough. Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Item number 12, clue number 1, originated October 22nd, 1963. Clue number 2, this one's for you.
Well,
You're so
I guess
quick
what-
with these. You don't give us a second. You don't give us.
Hey,
It's like
slow
it
down.
figures
No one's
clue
gonna
number one
guess
is this.
it on
Clue
the
number 2 is
first
this. Clue number 3 is this. Clue number 4 is
I'm
this.
sorry. 1963, October 22nd.
Like machine
2
guy.
Yeah.
is in the Hall of Fame.
Shut
It's
Oh man.
Clue number 3, known for wearing tights. Clue number 4, a motivational speaker and Food Network star. Clue number 5, a role model for children in South Park.
Anthony.
Aldi. God damn it.
I think it was Anthony.
It was it.
Brian Boitano.
Brian Boitano. 1980 Olympic champion figure skater was the last clue.
What would Brian Boitano do?
Number 13 originated as a concept in 1580.
That was clue number 1. Sorry.
Number
Lance.
2. Lance.
Big Bang.
No. Good guess, though. I like
Wait,
it.
what'd you say?
You
I
said
said
Big
Big Bang.
I think he's
Aldi.
off by a couple decades on that. Go ahead, Scott.
Aldi.
Big Ben.
No.
Oh.
Clue number 2. Has a hole.
Has a what?
Hole.
Hole or hold?
A hole.
Hole. Okay.
Clue number 3. Usually worn. Clue number 4, related to napkins. Clue number 4.
I know one word, not the other one.
5. Covers child's chest during feeding.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Baby bib.
Okay, you guys look at this one.
Is that wrong?
No, Baby Big is correct.
Oh, it was Baby Bib?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you say it was correct.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
This is number 14.
This is what happens when somebody other than me runs the
I'm
thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
shut up.
Oh, shut up.
Clue number 1.
Who number 1?
Originated September 21st, 1971. Clue number 2. Related to Danny Trejo. Clue number 3. Related to Jake Gyllenhaal. Clue number 4. Related to David Vedder. Clue number 5. Nickname for someone with severe combined immunodeficiency.
Matt,
Matt.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
Was there a Seinfeld clue in there somewhere?
No. Movie released in 2001 and relatedly a movie released in 1976.
Moops.
The Moops.
Oh, so sorry.
It was the Moops.
Oh, the moops.
Clue number 1. Originated February 5th, 1969. Clue number 2. Related to the Orchard Park projects. Clue
Barry.
Barry.
Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown is correct.
I was going in a completely
Come on.
different direction.
Sweet
He's
prerogative.
My brother.
inspired by James Brown's Boston performances in the early 70s. Related to New Edition in 1978 through 85. American singer known for 1988's My Prerogative.
I was gonna say he could have said something like it was his prerogative, and that just would have been good enough.
And then related to Whitney Houston.
Nice.
Okay. Penultimate item. This is number 16. Clue number 1. Originated in 1622 as a concept.
Lance.
Lance.
Big Bang.
No.
No.
All right. Well, I took my shot.
You're still off by a couple hundred years.
Clue number 2. Made famous by Charles Lamb in 1823. Clue number 3. Related to Francis Bacon. Clue number 4. It is the title of a 2014 album by Taylor Swift.
Aldi.
Any Swifties? Aldi, what do you got?
No. It's not Bad Blood.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Dang.
Correct. Based on association between a body humor and anger, and then a feeling of ill will between people, often a feud. Okay, last one. The bonus one. This is number, did I do 17? 10, 12, 14, 16. This is the bonus one, 17. Clue number 1. Originated September 1st, 1955. Clue number 2. Was a bodyguard for Catherine Bach in 1988's Driving Force. Clue number 3. He was the 1980 third place winner in the male Kumite World Championship.
Matt.
Matt.
Billy Blanks.
Billy Blanks is correct.
I had that one in my back pocket from what was it like his exercise called?
Tybo.
So
Tybo.
yes, he's a 7th Dan in Taekwondo, 5th Dan in karate, and a black sash in Hung Ga Kung Fu. He wore small, tight, athletic trunks, and he was famous for the Tybo body shape workouts.
Great.
All right, that was it.
Nice.
Sorry, I think I
Good
made
job,
this
Evan.
too hard, everybody.
Good job, Bill.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, you only stumped us
At least you did yours, Evan.
2 times.
Yeah, really. Like some people.
Slacking.
Kinda
And
felt-
Barry, just so you know, the original concept of the idea behind the Big Bang was put forth by the English theologian Robert Grosseteste in 1225. So I'm not
Yeah.
off.
You were off a couple hundred years the other way.
Yeah,
That's what he
whatever.
said.
This was good. It kind of felt like a Thursday New York Times crossword, which is tough.
When you do them, it feels like they're easy because you know what the answer is. When you're writing them out.
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like
it's
that
good.
first clue with the year is just such a
I know,
throwaway.
yeah, they're kind of garbage.
I wish
Yeah, sometimes.
get away from that one.
Yeah, they're kind of garbage. Maybe.
Well,
It took
maybe if you made your own, you could have.
Oh yeah, sure.
It took me 4 hours to do my first one.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I don't have 4 hours.
So Scott, I'll tell you what happens when I do them. Like I know one of them I want to do, and then I have to go try to find other things
Right.
that share the same
Yeah.
initials.
You have the gimme and
No,
something-
it's like the one.
something
It's like
clever.
the one cool thing, one cool like trivia fact I know about something.
I know, and then you guys start guessing, and I'm like, oh, I should have done that one. Betty Boop, that's good. Big Bang, that's good.
What was the final score?
I didn't
Anthony
tally.
something. The rest of us,
Andy
nothing.
something.
I think Scott would have won if it wasn't for that one. that
No.
he got
That's
jobbed
true.
out of.
Stop your whining. He called my name. I didn't just yell it
I
out.
did. That
Let
was
it
my
go. I
fault.
let it go.
That was my fault.
It's all good.
Did you, Scott? Did you really?
Well, the other one, the
Fine.
other one
I'm
that
kidding.
Scott beat me on. I didn't even hear Scott call his name, but I saw him on the screen.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Mm.
I did hear that
Uh,
one.
Which one was that? I don't even remember that one.
It was one that you didn't know the answer to. You shouting like, I don't think I know it.
Yeah, probably.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're writing them, you're like, oh, these are too easy. These are gimmies.
Gimmies.
You already know what it is. What's up? What's up? Ken?
Yeah. What's up? What's up indeed?
You guys watch that debate last week?
I saw.
I started to.
I don't know if we should actually talk about this, but whatever.
I
watched it.
only saw
I actually
some
did want to talk
highlights.
about it.
I watched it twice.
Did you?
Did
I
you?
watched it the next day without the sound.
Oh yeah.
Just as entertaining.
Is it?
Is it? It was? Oh my god. I almost thought
I-
about turning it off, honestly.
Yeah.
I did turn it off after a while.
The horror,
I watched
Having
like
sense-
I
I
watched
couldn't
like
look
15,
away.
20 minutes and I just same.
the
thing.
overwhelming
It's just
sense of
like,
horror.
I'm out of this.
But what got me the next day, I was looking through YouTube, and then Kennedy.
So
Bobby
let's make a
Kennedy
prediction.
had
Let's
one.
make a prediction. Do you think he will step aside?
Is Biden? Hell no.
Well, we're gonna go
No.
down. We're doing prediction time.
No,
No, he
Okay,
won't.
but
Would
if
have done
he,
it by now.
I'm writing it down.
no, I will tell you right now. If he wins, though, he will not finish his second term.
Are we doing the prediction thing? Does anybody think he will step down?
No, he already said today he
I'm
was.
the only one.
I think you are, Scott. Yeah.
Okay, it'll be just me.
He said today he wasn't stepping down.
Who's
Did
he?
Biden.
Joe Biden.
It's American politics.
He wouldn't step down if Trump wins?
No.
No, if he
wouldn't
Did you watch
step-
the debate? Did you hear
step
anything
down
about the
from
debate
the
last week? It was dreadful.
from
It's
the
about,
election.
it's about as bad as it could be.
Well, I did watch a tiny bit of it, and it was just them barking at each other.
Yeah, well, that was not the part. That was not the
Was it the golf
bad
part?
Oh yeah,
No,
but they
he's just
compared
like
golf.
the 5 minutes I watched, I felt that Biden was just stooping to Trump's level
Yeah.
He was.
That's
of
the golf
name
part.
calling.
That's
Yeah.
the golf part.
Yeah, he was near the end.
Yeah.
No, even in the
But it was
beginning,
just.
he was.
It was the first 20 minutes was just. It was just terrible.
You ever seen Dustin Hoffman and Dick Tracy playing Mumbles? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I guess I'll be the only one. We'll see.
You'll be the only one, Scott.
We'll see what happens.
But what I found really odd was, like I said, the next day I was watching.
Here's why I think if he steps down, it could be a good thing. At worst, it's 50-50. At worst.
You're not wrong. It might be good if he steps down. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
And
So
if
why
he
would
does,
he
I don't.
have to- down
If
'cause he's not
if he's
fit?
polling under 40, and he steps, at least give a chance to possibly win.
I don't think he cares at this point. I mean,
I don't think he
Doesn't
can
care.
step down to anyone but
I-
Kamala Harris.
he could.
Yeah, that's
he
one
could, He
thing.
could. I believe there is illegal. I think I heard
No,
a.
Kamala Harris, right as of right now, because of the time of the year, is the only person who could run in his place.
Oh, we passed the deadline on that.
Well,
Okay.
no, because they have to have the nomination at the convention. There's a path forward where he steps aside. I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere from one of these pundits.
Who are they going to get to put in his place, though?
Just
I
have to
mean,
be like
I
good
don't
old
care.
Gerald Ford,
I'm with you, Scott,
who
but-
repeatedly said, "I will not seek nor
Yeah.
accept my party's nomination for president."
Anyway, super depressing,
yeah.
but yeah, here we are.
The afterwards was even better.
The afterward, what?
Like when it was over,
When he went to,
and like you went to the
Waffle House?
CNN newsroom, and they had like 20 people sitting there,
I didn't see that part.
and like the looks on their faces, and like the sadness and depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have till the convention to change their mind. And I mean, I guess if it's up to him.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I mean, if they basically figure it out that he has zero chance or like a 30-40% chance now, that's a loss.
It does, but they don't
Why would you-
care. They
Who's-
don't care
who's
if
they
they
don't?
have they don't care if he has a shot because they can't. There's no. There's no. I don't know. I'm not smart.
I
enough
think
to
there are
know
people
exact-
actually who would not vote for him even if they were going to vote for him now. Like they'll just not vote.
That's, I think, what'll end up happening.
That's probably
a lot
worse.
of people just won't vote. Yeah.
Well, we have till August 19th. Anyway, there's my prediction. I'm the only one is predicting
You're
that
the only one.
as a step down. Okay.
I don't really want to talk about it because it's just too depressing.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
We could talk about Supreme Court. It's been a weird week. This is all 1 week. We lose Barry.
Oh, Barry's gone again.
Barry popped out. They just made a king.
Who just-
I just
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
right, we're gonna stop talking about politics. Then. I'm sorry,
I mean, it's topical.
Matt. You hear about that?
What?
The Supreme Court ruling.
Yes.
Okay,
It's not,
I like your voice.
it's not good.
Your yes.
Like it's what a. Anyways, yeah, that was. I really feel for you guys, man.
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Hold my beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you played any games, Evan?
Oh, can I talk about a game I played?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Why not?
I had no idea this game existed. And then I played it. And I was like, wow, when did this game come out? And then I was like, wait a minute, I thought this game sucked. And then I realized, no, wait, it was the first game in this series that wasn't any good that I played. And I played this one and it was great. And that is the Circadian's Chaos Order. So they had a game called the Circadian's First Light.
I thought the first one was good. No.
No,
Yeah.
I thought the first one was just boring. It was just a game. But man, that Chaos Order game, it's
What's
like
good about it?
it's like every single person's little your faction has its own way of winning. It's totally asymmetrical. You got to like work with each other and against each other. Like the person that's on your that's helping you try to do your thing this round, the next round you got to just abandon them. And so there's a lot of like negotiation and a lot of people. I mean, I played it 5 players and it was really, really good. Like enough that I actually almost bought the game. And that says a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Enough that like if I go to Gen Con and I go over to Renegade, who carries the game, if they have a Kickstarter deluxe copy there, I might drop the cash.
You might buy it.
And for the cool bits and the cool stuff.
What are you playing, Anthony?
I thought about buying it, but it didn't look that interesting to me.
I'm tuning my guitar.
Oh,
It's
I love
great
that.
stuff.
I love that song.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
So-
It's a PV Predator Plus, by the way, if you wanted to know.
So Lance, what's the rating that you're?
Is it a area control?
Like my rating?
I have a
if,
PV
If
amp.
most games are, it gets the fucking job done.
Oh, this is if somebody says I'm setting the game up, this would be don't threaten me with a good time. That would
Okay.
be that's
That's
so.
alright.
Oh. Is it area control? It says 120 to 240 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was
4 hours?
it took it took some time. Right. That was my buddies had their get together or whatever, but man, it was it stuck with me. I lost. I did horrible. I got crushed. But the game stuck with me. Like the turns where I got to do something cool and I felt like I was smart. Yeah. Stuck out for me. And then I did really horribly otherwise.
Okay.
It is a game that I think you have to play it a few times
Oh no.
to understand it.
That's the kiss of death for me.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't shine on the first play, I'm not going to play it again.
Well, this shined for me just because I had so much fun, right? But I
Okay.
also knew that I mean, but I also, like I said, I got destroyed.
Like, what's one of the factions' goal to win?
Oh yeah, what was mine again? Because one of the other guys had like the way better faction, or in my opinion, like because his was like based off of like combat and whatever. So I felt like his was like easier. Remember when that game came out, the Chaos in the Old World, and everybody thought that Corn was just so much better because like
Yes.
all Corn had to do.
That it was.
And it wasn't. Once you played it a few times, and you just realized that you
It
just
wasn't.
couldn't. Nobody should fight Corn. You should just leave Corn alone, and and um and just
But what fun is that?
well, no, because if Corn doesn't have anybody to fight, they can't get anything done. So you have to like just kind of avoid them and do whatever, you know. So
I
that was like
remember.
yeah. So I mean, so that was one of those things where I thought so I mean, like, okay, so like we had like each person had like attribute cards that you can activate to like increase, and like those are all to like um do your own special thing where like certain controlling certain areas or like certain units would be more powerful. The big thing is that you can there's a generic way to win, and that's how somebody won in the game I played, where they if you control all the relics that are on the map, and that's kind of also the thing I liked about it because it was a timed game. So each round, like after every round, you like removed a relic from the board until there was only one left in like the last round of the game. And so you we ended up having the one person, and since that was kind of like um the person that I thought was like sucking as much as I was actually ended up winning because they controlled the last they were able to control the last two relics when it got down to two, and so then they won because of that, which was I thought was cool, you know, because like I thought that they were like getting hammered like I was, and I mean I didn't control. I think I controlled a relic like one round because it seemed like every single time I ever got a leg up, somebody was like kicking the stool out from underneath me. But it also made me think after I got done playing it, I was like, man, if I had just found a way to like, you know, like either control like a relic or like, you know, get one of the last ones and like you can sneak into the victory like that at the very end. So, but I'll say this, that's one thing that I think you could totally king make on the last round if like you didn't want one other person to win, like you could completely and totally make it so like if you had it out for one, you could just make sure
Isn't
that
that like any kind of game like that?
yeah, but I mean, I think this one in my mind, it seems like it would be easy to do, right? It would just like if you had it out for one person who was just messing with you the entire time, like you can, all right, I'm not gonna win, but I'm gonna make sure you don't either, kind of thing. So, but I mean, like the end of the game, it felt like when that happened, I was like, wow, I really felt like anybody could have won, even though, like I said, I was just getting hammered on consistently. I was like, wow, I feel like I could have won the game anyway, so that was kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, it was really clever. It reminded me a little bit of Game of Thrones, the board game, which is a game I love. So
Okay. I'm turned
um,
off. I don't
what?
like, I hate that game. I can't play
Oh,
that game. I don't like being lied to.
well, I mean, that's any game with negotiation.
I think you're muted, Evan, by the way, if you were talking.
Any
Like
game with negotiation, you're
diplomacy
you're
is
going to
your-
get lied to. I mean, it's just
Sure.
that's part
Then
of the
I'll
game.
play it. Yeah. Probably won't play it.
I told you I ruined a book club with playing diplomacy, right?
Game of Thrones is good
No.
stuff, says Kabuki.
It is a good
What'd
game.
you do? What'd you do?
I ruined a book club by forcing them to play diplomacy.
Uh,
I was like, yeah, let's play a game. And they were like, okay. And then I set up diplomacy, and that was the last time we ever met.
huh.
It was a mistake. That is not being a good hobby ambassador. Everybody was kind of upset by the end.
Well,
It's
there's
basically-
negotiation games, and then there's doing what you said you did after the fact. That's not a negotiation game.
Right.
Right. Because negotiating is like, oh, I'll trade you this for that, or
Right.
some kind of form of negotiation or something.
Yeah.
Like you'll go here, I'll go here. But then when you actually are told to do it and you don't do it, that's backstabbing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a fan of the backstabbing.
Yeah, no, diplomacy is like the ultimate backstabbing game.
Like, I mean, I like Chinatown.
Yep.
That's a negotiation game. But you can't, everything's binding. You can't
Right.
undo something.
It's no Santiago.
No Santiago.
I love Santiago.
That one's not binding either, right?
No,
Like
it is not binding at all. You have to trust that people will give you the water
although
you
I
need
guess
to grow your
Chinatown
crops.
is not binding either. You could do Chinatown does not have the binding either, if I recall. I can't.
Well, Chinatown, Chinatown, if I remember correctly, it was like you could, like literally anything was
Yeah,
game.
anything goes.
Anything goes
Just-
as far as like I'll give you this house and I'll give you this and I'll get Chinatown is a fantastic game and it is sad. It's out of print, I believe.
It's reprinted as Waterfall Park.
Did they change
Theme,
it a lot
different theme.
though?
I don't know. Not played it.
You're not just I don't know.
Yeah, it was neat,
Chinatown.
but I was like, I can't remember if you had to eventually fulfill a deal. I don't remember. Like if I say, oh, if I get something over here, I have to give it to you. I'll give it to you later, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I would give you future considerations for the whatever.
Yeah.
Also, Vegas Showdown was like that too, I think, right?
Yeah. But
Not,
it,
not
it
Vegas
didn't-
Showdown.
But it wasn't anything, right?
Not
That
Vegas
was-
Showdown. The Loan Shark game, Vegas something.
Lords of Vegas.
Lords of Vegas, yeah. That was a negotiation game too. But you couldn't every deal you made you had to finish. Like, I mean, you did them. I guess you could basically say that you would give future considerations when something happens, but then you could lie.
That's the way hegemony works.
Hegemony.
So if it's something you negotiate that can be fulfilled done right that now it's binding. Anything promised in the future is
not.
not.
Well, Game of Thrones is basically all that. At least as I recall.
I just
There
remember.
was nothing formalized. It was all like, I'll promise not to go here.
Oh yeah, but
And
I
then
mean,
they throw their Jamie Lannister on you or something.
well, no, and you because that was the big thing with Game of Thrones was that you had your order tokens and they looked all
Yes,
they all
and they're
looked
all
the same.
face down.
They're all face
they're all-
down, and so
yeah.
you talk to people. It's like, look, we need to work on like
Shoring up
whatever. Shoring up this,
Nope.
and then so the big thing is that like if I remember correctly, like you would move, you could defend, you could also muster. Well, yeah,
Muster, yeah.
there was one thing where like you could do raids.
Mustard and relish.
There was you could do raids, which would like if if
Right.
if an army
Godlings.
was supporting an army next to it, like it would give it more strength in the combat that would happen. But if a raid attacked the army that was
Porting.
like supporting it, their support was gone because like the raid would disengage it. And I mean, I don't know, man. We there was all kinds of. That's also a game that had a
This was my
definitive
early
end.
days of gaming with my Dallas game group, so I was taken aback by the massive amounts of intrigue that I didn't enjoy.
Well, do you remember the
Uh,
old the guy who did the videos of such and such board game in 5 seconds? And then
Oh.
he had all kinds of videos like such and such board game, this, and he did Game of Thrones in 5 seconds, and it just had two guys staring at the
Oh,
board,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden his hand, the one guy's hand came up with a knife behind him and
That
stabbed him in the
exactly.
back. That was the entire video.
Oh, that was a good one. That guy was good.
Yeah.
Do you remember the guy who did the Flash stuff? What was his name?
Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Flash video guy?
Yeah.
Strong bad.
No.
It wasn't Flash.
a
It was
board
all
game.
animated, and
It
he
was
did
all
it.
animated, but I thought it was Flash.
And he did a really, really good job. But I remember he and I exchanged a few emails back in the day, and then he basically flat out said it was like each video he made, it literally took him like 60, 70 hours to make, and he said it just wasn't worth it because he wasn't getting paid for it. If he had done it now.
Oh, now he would just be cleaning
Now
up.
he can make money, right?
Yeah,
He'd have a
could
Patreon and all
Yeah.
that other stuff, and he could warrant the fact that he would spend all that time doing it.
What was
These videos are probably still
Oofbert?
exist.
Was it Oofbert?
Maybe. No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, it was Oofbert, I think. Let me find him. Yeah,
I'm
Oofbert.
turning into a pumpkin.
You
Adios,
are?
Matthew.
Hey guys.
Right.
Right, Matt.
Oh, Uvula Bob. See you, Matt.
Uvula Bob. Yeah, that's what it
Uvula
was.
Bob. Oofbert. Is he still on BGG?
I'm sure he's still
He
hanging
logged
out.
in today.
Right, Scott.
Isn't that amazing? You haven't seen him heard from him in years and years. Oh, he took all his videos down too. Oh, how annoying. Why do you take them down? I used to make videos. I probably won't make them anymore. The untitled flash-based review thing, a compendium. Oh, maybe he posted them under a different username.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Mike.
Oh, he just linked to them. He didn't actually upload them on the site. You know what? He put them in threads. This was old. So he made them in threads instead of linking them directly.
Yeah, and like I remember, like I said, we emailed back and forth a few times, and I was like, "Hey, I'd really like you
And
to."
do you remember when he made a video where you actually saw him and he looked nothing like what you thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
But I remember when he did the one video or whatever, and like I was trying to get him to do a video for TMG, and he was just like, he's like, I don't really have time for it. And
so good.
and he was just like, it's just not gonna. He's like, I just can't do it because it just takes too much time,
Sure.
So
Yeah, hobbies that turn into work.
what's really weird is like I've been playing just like I've been doing stuff on my PlayStation, and every once in a while, ping, it says Jeremy Salinas is playing, is playing Elden Ring, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you.
What's he up to? Maybe
He left. I have no idea. He left the community,
I know.
obviously. So
I remember. Are they still a thing?
What, Man versus People? Yeah. I saw David Wainwright at Origins, talked for a little bit. Whatever. He seems, David's a nice guy. I think a lot of those big. And I don't want them to. I want them to be super successful and continue doing what they love doing. But I do feel like a lot of those are going to be going away.
A lot of what? Review channels?
The review channels. The ones that are like, this is what we do and this is what our job is. I think a lot of them there just isn't enough people, in my opinion, willing to spend like the asking price that they have to do stuff. and I mean, I could be wrong, and I don't want them to go away. I mean, I want them all to make a ton of money and be very successful and just continue doing their stuff, right? But I am like, I mean, it's just like you look at those channels. I mean, it's just like none of them are really growing anymore. I mean,
Yeah, the growth,
Dice Star still grows. Rado has
it grows, but I think it doesn't stay big. You know what I mean? Like the views don't grow.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I don't know.
Same as with our channel too. We've grown, but it doesn't really change the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people consume.
There's way too much stuff to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
And if you're gonna sit there for a half hour watch a show, I mean, I'm glad we do our show, but like, it's a long show. You have it have to be dedicated to watch it. I mean, most people don't watch the whole thing.
I mean, I guess if you continued, if you have a steady, like the Patreon, I think is how they manage to stay alive.
Patreon would, yeah, I think Patreon is really the way of the future for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I thought about doing Patreon for game night.
They do.
I have.
I don't know. It seems very. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's just you don't get any money out of YouTube anymore. How many YouTube channels do you see they pop up with a YouTube is killing this channel or this isn't working anymore or whatever. It's like they
I
pop
think
up with
what's his name did that.
Actual All did that.
Actual Law, that's what I was saying. But didn't he always do that? I think he always sort of says that. Although it could be true. I mean, I'm sure it's always true.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't watch his video, but I saw that he posted that. And Actual All, like, I mean, he's got 100K subscribers.
Yeah.
And
No, I guarantee you cannot make a living off 100K subscribers.
Yeah.
I know the numbers,
No.
unless you're massively successful with the views to go along with the 100K subscribers.
I just
I'm checking my stats. I haven't looked at it in a while.
no, and I think his video was basically a plea that people joined like his Patreon or something like that. Just like
How many people are on his Patreon?
let's see here.
Actual
996.
So
The minimum
996.
and the
What's
minimum is
$5?
and the minimum is $5.
Okay, so $5,000 a month
Well, minimum,
minimum. So 5 to,
and probably more, right?
I suspect there's at least, it's probably at least 5,000.
Which okay,
So
so
60 grand a year
Make that work.
minus taxes.
So okay, and I don't know what that guy's life is. I don't know what his, does he have a family? Does he have to, raise kids? Does he, whatever. I'm not by any means trying to, but I don't know. I'm kind of with the mindset. It's like, dude, you got $5,000 coming in a month, make it work. Like, I mean, just like, and then when I see a video like that where it's like, oh, this isn't working. Okay, well, I mean, I get it. If saying I need cash, and people are willing to do it, then go on.
I mean,
And,
I'm sure he's
and
got a number
admittedly,
that he needs to hit, or he will stop doing it.
well, look at this, and then it's like June 24th was when he dropped that video, and it's got like almost 78,000 views. So he got people to back him at that thing, and people came in there and were willing to do so, and it was just like, Yeah, I don't know. And for people, it's like he's like you can create go to this link and oh yeah. So apparently, like, well, actually, it looks like it could be less because you
Can you
can
just
go
can you just subscribe to it without paying?
you can make a custom pledge. You can make a custom pledge, and let's see here. Yeah, you can decide if you want to do less. You can so he could have a bunch of people give him $1. So what do I know? What do I know? Maybe he's not making enough money, but it's kind of one of those things where I don't know. I mean, uh, it's you're you're doing videos in a medium that isn't as popular as video games. It isn't as popular as music. It isn't as popular as movies. It isn't as popular as TV shows. It isn't as popular as people just making fun of other people, right? So you have a very, very, very
Drama.
yeah. So you have a very, very so I don't know. I think Evan's still muted, by the way. I heard you say
still
no.
here.
You know, it sounded like you said something you didn't say.
No, I'm just there.
It's
Again,
it's a tough gig.
Again, I hope they all make all the money in the world and they never have to, you know, go back to whatever weekly grind that they would hate to do. I hope that's never an option. So, um, but I also have the mindset it's like, yeah, well, everybody said, "Oh, it must be awesome working in board games." No, it's fucking stressful and it is tough and it is. I have
Like every other job on the planet.
yeah. It's
So
just
get
it's
over yourself,
yeah yeah.
ladies.
Well, no, well,
You want to know stressful? Try being responsible for couple hundred people at a time.
that's not what I'm saying, Barry. What are you trying to say? Like
Get
I'm not
over it.
saying that like
It's a
no.
board game. It's business. It's stressful. Every business is stressful.
Why are you bagging on me here, right, man? No,
Because
I
you're
always
bagging
say
on this guy asking for money.
no,
It's stressful.
no.
Every job is.
That's I never once said that like he shouldn't do whatever he did. I don't know why you're trashing on me
Probably
right
just because
now.
I'm sick of hearing about board games being stressful. We hear it every week. I got to deal with people. It's part of my job. It's stressful. Well, it's your job. Just deal with them. Yeah. Get over yourself. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
NFL is liable for 4.7 billion in Sunday ticket.
4.7 billion.
I was just reading the headline. What? What's 4.7 billion?
I got sued big time.
Oh my god. Do I get my money back from last year's Sunday
No.
ticket? Oh,
No, you don't. If you
Oh,
had
well,
it before last year, you do.
before I had it last year. I have had it for a couple of years.
No.
They
And
do
it auto
something-
renewed one year and I didn't want it to, but I couldn't figure out how to undo it. So I just lived with it for a bit. Last year I did the Sunday ticket on YouTube. Wow. I did the DirecTV Sunday ticket.
What is the suit claiming that they did?
Then you're eligible.
I'll have to, okay.
You're eligible, Scott.
The lawsuit claimed the league broke antitrust laws by selling the package at an inflated price.
Uh.
The subscribers say the league restricted competition by offering Sunday ticket only on a satellite provider. So you basically had to buy satellite to get the Sunday ticket.
Oh,
Correct. And the problem is, so you know how they have the whole rule, when you don't have the Sunday ticket, you have to watch the game. That's the market game
Yes.
for
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah. So you miss. Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is, by offering Sunday ticket, also, they prevented people from those markets even seeing games sometimes
Oh, really?
in your own market.
I've heard of that.
And they took money out of the pocket of the local providers. with it also.
I guess they were found liable. It's over.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they have it's like
The
500 million.
per team.
No, it's 500 million for businesses that paid into it who got screwed over.
Right.
Oh yeah, like
So like a
bars.
bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because one of the things was, oh, those bars had to get direct TV.
Yeah.
In order to
And
get somebody
then it
ticket.
inflated crazy.
Then they
cents.
took it away from them.
Right.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It says each team could owe 441 million.
Well,
Drop in the bucket,
Wow. Yeah.
even though it sounds like a lot.
Well, for some teams, it's a lot.
Sure.
So how did the teams get involved?
Are you
Wouldn't
guys
this
going to
be-
watch the? So there's no 4th of July, or is there a 4th of July hot dog eating contest tomorrow without Joey?
Yeah, he was banned, wasn't
Joey Chestnut, but
Yeah.
but
Oh,
Netflix
I
is
don't
doing
know.
one later. I wonder when that is.
he? I don't know.
Do you guys ever watch that?
Yes, there is
it's
one
been
tomorrow.
a long time.
There's one, but it's
I've
without
seen
Joey,
it.
Sans, Joey Chestnut, and
Kobayashi.
Kobayashi.
Kobayashi. Yeah.
And what was the other guy? I forget the names. That was kind of an entertaining thing every year, though. I'm looking for entertainment. My wife is out of town.
Oh. You still got what? Half
2
a
more
week left?
weeks, almost
2
like
more
another whole
weeks?
week. Yeah, like
Uh,
another week and a half, I think.
That sucks. What are you gonna do with yourself, Scott?
I don't know. To play some video games or something.
Hit me up with some kind of game, man.
Yeah. I need to get a game. So I got into got into 2 Arc Nova games, and the one is I bombed it so hard, and it's been going for like weeks.
You're like, will this ever?
And I'm just like,
end?
I can't get away from. I'm like, what am I doing wrong with that game? I need to play it more.
I'll tell you what I recently discovered. I think I figured out why I always sucked at that game. Because I always wanted to do like the cool big play. You know, like I'm gonna make the fiver and I'm gonna
Yeah.
fill the fiver like from the get-go.
Yeah.
But you're gonna miss tons and tons of like money refills, you know, when it reaches 15 out of 15 whatever's coffee break.
Yeah.
That's when your money refills.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting there waiting to do the big play, you end up at a huge disadvantage than if you just pop down and fill a bunch of 1s and 2s that give you the income that then repopulates every coffee break.
Right.
So now I'm actually doing a lot better now that
So
I've started popping
smaller
a bunch of
bites.
1s and 2s. Yeah.
I think
and
I
then lead up to some biggies.
I feel like even that doesn't work for me.
No, that was my
I don't know. I'm floundering with that game.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I used to not like that game at all, and now I really do like it.
I like
really
it more
do
than
like
I
it.
used to.
It's worthy of its top 10 nature.
Yeah. I definitely my first
It
play
is
was
so
not,
good.
Yeah.
I wish it was just slightly different theme.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care about the animals that much. If it was like a sci-fi,
that's your quote.
I just don't care about animals. I just don't care about
the
animals.
animals that much.
I mean, I kind of did at the beginning, like, oh wow, there's so many cool different animals, but there really is that many different.
Yeah.
They're kind of almost. There's a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
starting slow, then going.
Yeah, you got to slow up it.
And then
then
doing the
what did I do
association
on this game
do
that
the
I bombed?
level
I
5
made a bunch of
associations.
unique buildings, which are
Yeah.
that's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
Unique buildings are not good because you only get the one bump from them
Right.
when you buy them,
Right.
and never again. And you can't
Yeah.
really get rid of anything.
I'm not a fan of those. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't overbuild anything.
I mean, you can get some games there are big bonuses for like filling out, you know, parts of your park. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I filled out it was the quickest I ever filled my entire park because I had the ice cream stand. Do you know that?
I don't remember that one.
You get an extra $1 for every kiosk.
My patience.
Something like that.
Run. I'll be back in just a bit.
See ya.
Gonna go crack some backs.
Crack some bags. Taking some names.
Anyway, Ark Nova is pretty awesome. I didn't like it at
Still.
first, but now I do. And the fact that it's on BGA makes it even better because I can play. Because I don't think I want to play it in real life. It takes too long.
So, Scott, do you think you'll ever be back to like Gen Con yourself?
Never say never.
Okay.
I thought about coming out this year. I'm actually feeling a lot better. Something flipped a switch after BGG Con.
It's good.
I'm not having the problems that had been having up to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might make it back. Problem is, I want to get downtown hotel. I don't want. I don't want. I mean, it sucks that I can't. I'm an exhibitor basically, and I can't get hotel rooms. I'm not an exhibitor on the hall, but I run a show that probably makes them more money than any of those other booths.
File complaint, Scott.
It's deaf ears.
Yeah.
It's on deaf ears.
They don't care.
I know they don't care.
Because someone else is right behind you.
Yeah. But a lot of that.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing: the hot games room was offered to me because whoever didn't show up for the hot game for whatever they built in that room, whatever they were putting on. They wrote me like last minute, like, "Hey, do you want a 10,000 square foot ballroom?" Sure. It's not that big. I think it's smaller than that. In that ballpark.
Did like them go to Origins too, or not? Just Gen Con and Essen.
What?
Did they go to Origins?
No, we didn't go to Origins.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Going to Gen Con in Essen.
Yeah.
And BGG Con.
What about Cairns? Does Eric still go to that? Or not Cairns?
Can.
The French one.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. People have told us they miss us, but I'm like, I don't think there really many people do miss it. It's not that many.
Yeah, I don't know.
One person tells you out of like what 10,000.
Miss
Yeah.
what? The booth?
The videos.
No. Well, see, the thing is now, though, I mean, it doesn't even make sense to do the videos.
No.
Because so many companies are sending stuff so early to people that people like used to be that was the first time you would see the game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's way more
Like so many things are being
creators
ahead of time. Yeah.
that it doesn't make sense to go.
So here's something I was amazed at Origins. I'm showing Destiny the whole weekend, Original Sin, and like I would say, a good 90% of the people who came up were like big fans of the video game, and they're board gamers. They didn't even know the game existed.
That's stunning. So they themselves can't even reach their audience that buys the game from them.
Like it was just odd. Like, oh, never.
Well,
didn't know this even existed.
Game's old too, right? I mean, it's not that. When did the Divinity come out? Like
when did the Kickstarter get released?
No. When did the video game come out?
Oh, I don't know. The first one's what, like 6 years old? Maybe more than that.
It's been a while. Let me look.
But like, it's like these are the top video channels for board games, and all of those top channels featured the game, but yet none of these people knew that this thing even existed.
Yeah, it's super
So it
hard.
gets you wondering, like, what reach do these top people even actually have.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been like before Origins. I hadn't been to a convention in 5 years,
Around 2015.
and I knew more games, like, more information about games than they did. And I haven't been in the scene at all, like really for like 4 years. Oh,
Yeah.
Lance,
Hmm.
remember we had a few people come to the booth telling us about their huge board game groups, their board game clubs.
I mean, a few. You know, the
So,
people. Go ahead.
so I did I was curious if like that was the thing. So I asked a question on Facebook to people. No one seems to have a board game club that has more than like 25 people.
I'm sure there's a few out there somewhere.
Yeah,
but-
there you go. I'm sure.
25 people. There, I think the Dallas the new Nerd Niners or whatever. I don't know if that's what it's called anymore, but like I think it's like at least 50.
That's pretty big, those guys. I
Yeah,
think.
it's been growing.
Well, it was interesting was because one of the questions I asked is, how many people are in the group and how many people come, and even the ones that had like a larger number of members, like they get like a third on a good night. One guy was like, "Oh, our Facebook group has like 500 members, and like 20 to 27 people show up," and I'm like,
Uh,
who are those other people?
Have you guys been looking at the Facebook stuff? Like how massive these groups are? Like
Yes.
I'm just blown away at how big some of these groups are. Not just board games, like everything.
Yeah.
Like I'll get like some random cooking group, like a recipe. I'll get the fact that they're now pushing every group under the sun on me is just
Yeah.
annoying.
Well,
So every once in a while, I'll look at a group. I'm like, how many people are actually in here? 40,000. Like what? The numbers are just mind boggling now.
but it's those things that are weird because, like, so back when we were doing the podcast, like early when we were doing the podcast, like the top, number 2 hot podcast in hobbies was a knitting podcast. And like they had a ridiculous number of downloads. And like, I'm, that's your hobby. That's great. But that's one of those hobbies that I think is a visual hobby.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if someone had like a video podcast thing that they were doing, and showing you how to do, this particular stitch or whatever, I could see that being big. But these women were just talking about different kinds of yarn, and like I listened to one. I was like, I want to see what this is all about. What a knitting podcast is all about. And I was like, God bless you. You get all those people to listen to you. I don't know. It's just a weird. It's just a weird thing. But
I'm
I'm
sure
saying
people listen to board games think the same thing. Yeah.
right.
They're
But
new
my
too.
point is that we look at these things as how big and huge and how far their reach is, and realize that their reach is not really that as far as you think it is.
Yeah, no.
If this large number of people have no idea that something actually exists.
Yeah. Gosh. People are just getting thrown so much shit at them, you go on Facebook, like Scott was saying, you get hit with all these clubs and shit, or pages, groups and all that. And then the ads and all that nonsense. Even down to, YouTube and all that.
Is it that there's too much stuff, or is it that people just don't friggin' take the time to look at anything?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Like 6 or 7 years ago, there were a lot of games coming out. Maybe not like it was coming out now, but I mean, very rarely did something come out and we were like sitting there like, wow, I never heard of this. And there wasn't the big, Facebook ads and all this other stuff being thrown in your face. I keep seeing some game that's coming to Kickstarter on YouTube when I watch YouTube now, and the commercials in
Oh,
between.
they're doing
videos.
YouTube ad?
Yeah, there's
What
quite a
is it?
few games. One of them, I have no idea what it is. It's coming deluxified or something. That's all it says. I don't know what the hell the game is.
The Lux.
Hold on, let me see. I can figure out.
I do YouTube Red or whatever it's called, premium.
Yeah,
So I
I'm thinking
I haven't
about
seen
it.
an ad in years.
The ads don't really bother me too
Shane was
much, but
Yeah. So the game I keep seeing is called Brink.
yeah,
Brink. That's a
Brink.
video. That was a good.
It's coming from Ivy Studio. It's a space science fiction space exploration, trading, voting, worker placement, different worker types.
Okay.
Yes. The Moonrakers are on the brink. It's apparently coming to Kickstarter. But
I'm gonna Kickstarter. Well, Scott, you still do ads on the BGG, right?
It already has 27 ratings. Yeah,
Do they get a ton of hits, or would
yeah,
you don't want to? Okay,
millions.
I'm just curious, like where people actually do see games. Like a lot of mine is from YouTube, or but I have certain reviews. I cut out a lot with the Kickstarter reviews because I'm just not interested. But
Most of our advertisers are Kickstarters.
I'm not interested waiting 2 years for a game. I have no interest for that.
we don't know if
anymore.
they'll be here.
Yeah, that too.
Morbid.
I got at least 3 years in me. Unless that fucking cat killed me.
Now that I was thinking about that, now that I just looked at PGG, let's check something else. That there, because I put in to get Divinity on the list. I was looking at the description on BGG.
Yeah.
And its legacy is listed as one of the categories. And I want to see what categorizes legacy on BGG. No, it's definitely not legacy.
Not
Based
legacy,
on your
yeah.
description.
Not Alien.
Oh, Brink.
Brink.
It comes out in 2025.
Yeah.
Explore space, trade with rivals, bring prestige to your faction.
I didn't realize exactly. They're 6 months out there.
What's generic
This is their 6 months of what you call it, like Lance said, talked about.
Yeah. I just don't see 6 months to wait for a game, 2 years following that. I don't know.
Mark Street did a preview.
A preview.
Those are paid, right?
Yep.
Yeah, most likely.
But Barry,
Anthony.
What do those cost, by the way? Anybody know?
What about like all the Marvel movies where they tell you what movies are coming out in 2026 and 2027 at a time?
Yeah, but we're talking Marvel's trying to make $1 billion, not a couple of 100,000. I mean, it's
But
a
Marvel's
little bit
also
different.
spending
Oh yeah, they're
$100
paying.
million.
They're paying at least what they did on the budget of the movie.
Exactly. Hold on, I gotta plug my
But
computer
yeah,
Rado did a paid preview.
I don't know.
Guess I got some money.
Yeah, but again, the pool's so small. How much money is there for the? I mean, it's growing all the time. I see new channels all the time popping up. It's
New channels? Oh yeah.
yeah, like there's only so much money to spend in the pool.
Sure.
right, but everyone thinks that they're going to get a piece of it.
Yeah. Well, most of the bigger ones do. That's all you see with the bigger channels. It's the same game going passing through all of them. The little guys pick up whatever they can, but I don't know. Everybody wants to make a top 10 list too. Yeah.
Yes, because I care what your top 10
Yeah.
games are.
Really.
Well, we still live in a
people care.
hobby where people go on these board game groups and ask people what their tastes are. Like, what do I like?
What do I like?
Yeah. What do
That's
I
what they basically do.
I see people write. They like
do
these games.
two-player
And they say,
games.
give me recommend me like a live recommendation.
But I also see
Probably need
tons
to
of
do some
uh,
work on that. Not
what I need 2-player games. What do you suggest?
Yeah.
just generic.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
just
Chess?
Oh, no details like anything.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, is this good for the money? I'm like, I don't know.
Mhm.
If you're living under a bridge, no, don't spend the money on that.
It's interesting how people do want to be told what to do.
Yes.
I
Yeah, you don't want to think.
what did I read that? There was something I read about that.
What?
People want to be told what to do,
Oh yeah.
what to like. That's why influencer marketing works.
Yeah. Oh, we lost somebody. Andy? I was watching Sony, Warner Brothers, and there's another big record company is suing AI. I can't remember which one. So that they have the use of their artists solely. It's fucked up suit, man.
Wait, what?
They're trying to stop AI from stealing their artists, vocals or music, whatever, so that they can do it. It's a weird suit.
Oh, so they can do it themselves.
Yeah. It was Sony Music,
Right.
Warner Brothers, and another big one, but I can't remember what the other one was. And I can't remember which AI company they were going at. It was weird.
Probably opening it.
But
So
I can see it.
are there any summer blockbusters coming? Anybody's
Deadpool.
excited?
Pitbull?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, Deadpool, yeah. Kevin Costner came out with a Western. I don't know. Oh, that'll go. 3-hour Western.
It's doing very poorly.
Is it?
What is it? It's a western.
Yeah.
It's a
So I
Western that
started-
it was the first one released in releases in like now, and then the second one releases in August, and it's just tanking horribly.
What else is what's coming out?
I saw.
When
I
is
started
Deadpool
watching
coming out?
Furiosa, and I thought it was pretty cool. I watched like the first 2/3 of it. I got 1/3 left, but I really liked it.
Did you?
I think didn't it get like sort of mediocre reviews?
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
I thought it was great. Oh well.
When does Deadpool come out, Harry?
Deadpool comes out Friday,
Friday?
Friday. Maybe I'll go to the movies.
I think.
The new Murphy Beverly Hill Cop came out today. I didn't see it though. I
Oh,
don't
is
have
that
high
on Netflix?
hopes.
Netflix, yeah.
I don't have high
Yeah, I'm
hopes.
not really that care about that much about everyone else.
Uh,
Unless everybody goes crazy and is like, "Oh my god, it's so great!" I'll watch. I'm not gonna really prioritize it.
yeah. Trying to think else. What
See if
else
I can
we
find a
got?
list. Here we go.
Beetlejuice that comes out, but that's not till like
Okay,
September.
Furiosa
October.
already came out. Violent Nature already came out.
Don't know.
Robot Dreams. No, we don't know what that is. Am I okay? Are these blockbusters? Bad Boys,
don't
Ride
know.
or Die.
Oh yeah, I
That
forgot about
already
that.
came out. Hitman.
Did it?
Oh, Hitman was okay.
Hitman?
I saw Hitman. I wouldn't call it a blockbuster.
Hmm.
Inside Out 2. Anybody watch that?
No, I
Nope.
heard that wasn't doing well though.
That was the number one movie in the country for like
Was it?
since it came out. Yes.
Maybe it was just Bob. He said his kids weren't into it, so I guess he figured, the rest of people.
Horizon Chapter 1 was no good.
No,
Kevin
don't.
Costner.
Yeah.
Quiet Place Day 1. That came out.
Oh yeah, how'd that do?
I'm
First
curious
one was
about
okay.
that one.
I think the first and second.
Beverly Hills
Never
Cop came out today. Fly Me to the Moon. Where they make
That was the mystery movie that
Oh, that was your mystery movie?
How
How was it?
No spoilers. I mean, it was okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
no
it was just a movie that was like.
It's a movie.
Well, no,
There was,
I mean, it
there was
was
pictures
It's
they
a
moved.
movie.
it was a movie that like it was like, hey, here's the premise, here's the setup, here's the the stuff that went on behind the scene. There was no like it wasn't about landing on the moon per se. It was just kind of like
It's about
this
picking
whole
and landing.
well, no, so that's part of
But
it.
it's the backup.
Yeah, so it's like that's part of it, like what if kind of thing, but but it's just kind of like everybody just looks like they're having fun making the movie. And there was definitely like one of those things where it was like, oh, it's like it looks like you left a lot. Like there's just like there's a couple of parts where it just doesn't flow well together, where like it feels like you took a chunk out and threw it away, which the movie was 2 hours long as it was, and it was kind of too long for what it was.
It wasn't the right stuff.
Well, no, the right stuff is a classic. It's like
I
that's
know.
that's
The
a top
original one.
15. That's a
Trying to
top
be-
15 movie for me.
trying
But
to be kidding.
this was a no, I mean it was entertaining. It was entertaining. It had a big what's the word I'm looking for? It had a big showy climax where you were like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Even though like multiple times I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of. But in the back of my head, I'm like, well, no, wait a minute, this is like based on a true to life thing. So like you're just kind of like, okay. So I wasn't able to. It's like when you're watching a Mission Impossible movie and you're like, oh my gosh, Tom Cruise is going to die. No, he's the hero of the movie. He's not going to get killed. Like you can't.
Eventually, he's going to kill
You,
himself.
you
But
can't turn your brain off and do that. And so there's like that. I had a problem where I couldn't turn my brain
Suspension of
off.
disbelief.
Yeah, I couldn't enjoy the tension. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, it was just well done. It was well acted. There's a ton of people, a ton of like I mean, Woody Harrelson was really good in it. Scarlett Johansson was really good in it. Channing Tatum was really good in it. Um,
Yeah.
everybody performed their jobs very well to the best of their ability. I mean, if you're looking for a popcorn movie, that's what it is. It's a popcorn movie. You'll enjoy yourself when you watch it.
Twisters comes out July 19th.
I
I
don't
like
think
Twister.
that'll do. I like the original too.
I like the first Twister.
Yeah.
This is Twisters.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
two of
assuming
them.
there's
Deadpool.
two.
There's two twisters. That's what it's about.
There is. Oh,
They combined to make
Twister?
one.
It's not Twisters because it's the second movie. It's
Twisters.
Twisters. There's two of them
Oh, okay. At the same time.
at the same time.
Deadpool and Wolverine is July 26th, by the way.
Oh, 26. Okay.
Okay.
A few more weeks.
Okay. What else we got, Scott?
I'm trying to find the blockbusters.
Barry, to answer your question, the number one highest ranking movie as far as critical rank, audience rank, and box office, Inside Out 2.
I was just go by what somebody said to me. I didn't.
Followed
I
by
don't know.
Dune Part 2, Godzilla X Kong,
Oh,
Kung
yeah.
Fu
Still?
Panda 4, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes are the five highest grossing movies this year.
Oh yeah, I forgot the king. When's Beetlejuice coming out there, Scott? You gonna take Michelle to see it?
Probably.
Uh,
I like
I
Beetlejuice.
figured she just did the play for it.
So, and then the Joker is the other big
Oh
movie
yeah,
that's coming out.
Another Joker?
The
Yeah.
Joker second one
yeah.
Oh.
with
Lady
Lady
Gaga.
Gaga.
Oh. There's a Borderlands movie,
Borderlands.
the video game.
That'll do horrible.
Yeah.
That movie needed to come out like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's got big stars.
I don't mean that.
So did the Furiosa movie. You know what movie I rewatched and I was like, wow,
Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that one.
The
They're gonna
Crow.
forget a couple movies on
I
that.
didn't know there was a crow.
I rewatched.
Yeah,
I
the
rewatched.
kid is the it guy. The Skarsgård kid's playing the Crow.
I rewatched The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the David Fincher movie. That was a good movie.
It's too bad they only made one of those. I guess it bombs, right?
Did they?
No,
Not enough to make
no. The
another-
movie did great. The problem is David Fincher always has like other stuff going on, It's the same reason why
okay.
Mindhunter like ended, which was like supposed to be 5 seasons long, and they only got like
Well,
the 2 or
the David Fincher movie, The Hitman or The Killer, is pretty good on Netflix if you want to watch that.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I
I
started
would have
watching.
rather he had just done his Mindhunter.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't. I mean, um, no, like so like Rooney Mara, she um uh like when she got most of the piercings for the like obviously the tattoo was like redone, you know, it was a fake tattoo, but like all of like the body modification stuff as far as the piercings go, like those except the lip piercings were fake, but everything else she actually like really got done, and she actually kept most of them because she thought she was going to be in the sequel, so she didn't actually like, you know, have the piercings removed with the idea that like, you know, oh, and then they'll heal up and then have to redo them, and then like she was like, oh well, and then the sequels never got done. Like it was like something like 2014 or 2016. They like they did they the author of the original books, he died like weirdly. Stieg, like whatever, Stieg Larson, like he just
Yeah.
keeled over and died. Like it was just weird. And then somebody wrote another book in the series or the world
It's
or
like a fourth.
whatever. And then they did a movie on that, and that one bombed like nobody's business. It just crashed and burned.
Is that M. Night Shyamalan?
Shyamalan.
Sounds right.
Trap?
Trap.
Could be. I mean, I always hold that hope for him.
His daughter just made one. Give me a second. I don't remember the name.
It's got Josh Hartnett in it.
Oh, really?
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, he's like the lead of
Yeah,
Trap.
it's inevitable.
I was always of the mindset that like those would have been good movies if they were able to just continue doing them. But I mean, it's just like, but I guess Fincher's got kind of a
Yeah, Michelle read the books like very quickly.
Yeah, I read the books too.
Devoured them.
I remember I had read them because my dad turned me onto them, because he's like, my dad really likes Norwegian. There's a whole bunch of Norwegian mystery and whatever writers, and he turned me onto them. And then my wife was listening to the audiobooks, and like I was sitting at work, and there was like a way to send messages back and forth, and all of a sudden like my thing pinks up, and it's my wife, and she says, sorry, spoiler, she's alive. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then she referenced a book and like a big major, you know, thing. And I was just like, oh, okay, I had no idea what you're talking about. But it was a total non sequitur. Like, we have been talking about, should we get tacos for lunch? And then like an hour later, she's alive. It's like, but yeah, good stuff.
There's a Disney movie called The Descendants: Rise of Red. I don't know what that is.
Aren't the descendants like the kids of the villains?
Yes, that's what
Could
it
be.
is.
I don't know.
It's Villain Kids.
Uh,
Ultraman Rising. It's on Netflix next week. 10 days. I'm a little underwhelmed with the movie list, honestly.
Yeah,
Oh well.
there's always next year's.
All right, I'm going to bed, boys.
Yeah. Are we done?
Yeah, we might as well call it a night. My
Could we
son
get-
wants to.
Chastise us for quitting at midnight.
Yeah, I know, but I'm tired, and my son wants to watch the Monday Night Raw on Hulu.
thanks.
So,
Oh, Monday Night Raw.
well, yeah, we got to get ready. I mean, it's
Is there,
this weekend is Money in the Bank, baby.
what is
You
it?
Money in the Bank is my third favorite pay-per-view. It is WrestleMania will always be number one. Royal Rumble is number two, because the person who wins the Royal Rumble gets the championship match at WrestleMania. That's the big thing.
Right.
But Money in the Bank, you suspend a briefcase above the ring, and 10 wrestlers
Fight it out for the
need,
briefcase.
need to get a ladder, need to climb the ladder. You need to grab the briefcase. And inside the briefcase is a contract that
Oh.
guarantees a chance to wrestle the championship, and you can turn it in at any time you want. So like there's all these times when like the champion will just barely win, but they'll just be beaten half to death, and all of a sudden the person's music starts and they come racing in and they hand the briefcase. They'll come racing in and they'll smash the person over the face with the briefcase to knock them out. And they hand the briefcase to the ref, and they're like, "I'm cashing in!" And I mean, the crowd just goes absolutely like beyond the beyond, and like and it's
be in that world.
Yeah, no, it's
that sheer joy of just the lamest stuff. I mean, it's exciting for everybody else, but I'm just like, it's so silly.
It is, but I mean, but that moment when they do the cash in, it's just like
I'm jealous of that feeling of euphoria, honestly.
And Drew McIntyre, like who has been repeatedly since WrestleMania has gotten screwed over and screwed over and screwed over again by CM Punk over and over again. He had like championship matches and he's getting screwed over. And he got into the match for the Money in the Bank, and he's this huge Irish guy, and he just looks like he could kill you with a glance, and he's like, I'm gonna win that fucking briefcase. And I'm walking on a Money in the Bank, the champion. He's like, I'm not gonna wait. I'm cashing in. That the moment I get that briefcase, I am cashing in, and I'm like gonna, and he's, and so everybody's wondering how he's gonna get screwed over again.
Is McMahon still part of WWE?
No, he's gone. He's
gone.
Yeah, something happened with him. He got disgraced or something.
Well, yeah, he got arrested for sex trafficking. So yeah,
that'll do.
Well, no, I'm sorry, sued for sex trafficking should be it. And now he's being investigated by the feds for a lot of different things.
Yikes.
And he sold 51% or whatever of his ownership, and so now like a different company, like conglomerate, owns the WWE. And so the moment that those things came, they basically were like, "You're out, you're gone." So he still owns. He's still a billionaire. He's still got all the money in the world. They'll still be fine. Anthony, you still with us? I can't tell. I can still see his name on my sheet, but maybe he can't.
Jamming.
But yeah, he's too busy. Too busy. I don't know, playing his guitar or whatever. So,
wow,
but yeah,
the page on McMahon is like a million pages long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, he's a horrible person. So, which is no surprise. People knew that he was a horrible person for years. He just
18.
He was
I'm here.
Oh, you're here? All right.
Great.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everybody have some good hot dogs tomorrow.
Yeah,
are you
come
doing,
back.
Scott?
Did you see the meme of Carl Weathers in his Apollo Creed like USA things, and he's boxing? It says it's him July 4th, and then it shows him and Happy Gilmore with the fake hand July 5th. It's just like, that's good.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, that's a good one. And the best thing is if you go to Star Fireworks in Fargo, North Dakota, one of the guys who owns it has basically he literally has a hook for a hand. As he's like, oh yeah, these are real good ones over here, and you're just like,
I used to light these off all the time.
yeah. But yeah. All right, everybody. Well, have a good one. Be good. Be honest. Be decent. If you celebrate Independence Day, as Apu Nahasapito Padawan said many years ago on The Simpsons, enjoy the birthday of your country by blowing a piece of it up. So, and
what famous person will blow up lose a finger tomorrow?
Well, there was the only famous person there was the one football player who still plays, I think, doesn't he, or did he finally retire?
No, the Dolphins had him last year for a little while, and he didn't make the team.
And didn't he was like, he set the record, or he came close to setting the record the one year.
Yeah.
And then
Like
he
tags or something?
then he blew off like 3 of his fingers or
Pierre Paul.
is that was yeah, Pierre Paul. There you go. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, if you guys wanna oh, what was the thing? God, there was something I was gonna ask you guys about. Shoot. Whatever, maybe it'll come to me. I don't know.